Okay, so that means it's session number 99, and we get to welcome some new people. It's also Phase 3, Season 1, Episode 10. The lower numbers to make it easier for people to figure out where we're up to or when a story is, because if you go back over 100 episodes and go, which episode were we doing what? You just have to look at everything grouped by 5 for levels, and each 5 levels is a phase, and then each phase has 5 seasons, which represents 5 levels of that game.
Okay.
Each season is a game year. So the game started, this would be 11 game years ago. So your character would have to have at least been an adult by then.
Yeah.
So that would put minimum age of a human to be about 24, 25. But you're welcome to be much older than that.
I hadn't given much thought to age.
Well, the older you are, the more likely you've got other things you've done. It's completely up to you. Though there is another 20 odd game years of story.
Okay.
So, making yourself too old, your character might not live through it without magical needs.
Okay. Well, I made the assumption that it was stupid mistakes when younger, and so that puts a starting point in terms of time. Probably as a teenager.
Yep. So in that case, you can put in between 24 and 27 would be a good age bracket.
Okay.
It's plenty old enough to have made dumb mistakes.
Yeah. Old enough made dumb mistakes, trying to atone for them.
Okay, so I will get everyone else to introduce themselves first. So we'll start off with M.
Hello, I play Zal, your ever-lovable cleric wizard.
Failed Ranger.
Ow. That was loud.
Well, you were expecting it. You were expecting it.
I know. It was loud in my ear because it was coming through 2 mics. I was a ranger in my early life. I then died and gave up my pride and became a cleric. And following my heritage, learnt some wizardry as well, and been following a fine line of following the heritage I was sort of born into, being Ethengarian, and learning about the sort of secret heritage my family had, which was being good, in quotation mark, necromancers, and learning forbidden magic.
Well, it's only forbidden if someone says you can't do it. Okay, so then we have Josh.
Hello. Hi, I'm Josh. I play Chauvel, the ever-lovable Paladin. So Chauvel is a very tall fire genasi. Was at one point or another trying to be very tricky and taking a class in Warlock and taking the power from her god. However, mistakes were made and now has been cursed. Well, not cursed, but basically blessed by her god, saying, well, now wherever you go, you must basically scream your pride to everyone and my name. So
well,
wherever I go.
To put that in perspective, Chauvel had just spent some time in the nation of Philanthropy, which his god has ordered destroyed. And he hid his presence.
Yes.
So he got told he could never hide his presence again.
Okay.
So now it's been Paladin, everyone.
So like Gears, you have to always advertise yourself.
Can throw a cloak over, but that's basically going to potentially cause problems depending on who the character is hiding from.
Yes.
I just thought I'd give them the background that very few have gotten of why you got the paladin screaming in everyone's face.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add there, Josh?
I'm the usual, firing hot-headed. Everyone's questioning my morals with the war at the moment, and yes.
Your allegiances are definitely being questioned.
No, my allegiances are fine at the moment. That's a future problem. That will
It's a
come.
future problem where you kill the party for your god. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
I mean, no.
No. Freudian slip. We're fine.
Well, it's not his
Yeah.
party at that stage.
It's true. It's the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have Izzy at the table.
Hi. I am playing Samir, our Sky Elf. She is about 7 foot tall with wings to match. Unfortunately, the dyed black hair and wings have since been lost, and now it's radiant white and gold because that's just what her people look like when you're air aligned.
Yes.
So she's feeling it. Her goth look has faded away, sadly.
That's
but
okay, just buy more ink.
I know. When we get there, we'll get there. She's a storm sorceress. She's pretty prone to throwing around lightning and thunder and making a big sound and making a big scene. So yeah, she's healed from her vampirism, somewhat sadly. I thought the power was pretty nice, and now we're making our way north, I think. So
That is true.
learning as we go.
And we'll be introducing Gary and his character.
Anton. You see a scrawny young man in dusty travelling clothes carrying a staff with elaborate runes. A horrible scar marks his left cheek and dull black scales cover his hands. A tiny dragon flies nearby. He waves and smiles. I'm trying to atone for big mistakes made at a young age. And with the world falling apart, I've heard that there's this person who's actually trying to put it together, so I've come to try to help in my naivety.
And with the group, they have a NPC called Drazzle. He is a dragonborn, stands about 8 feet tall, and writes down most of what you do, even your mistakes. And occasionally provides healing through hugs.
Okay.
And he happens to be in more than one place at the same time.
Okay.
And at different times, if I recall, he's not strictly bound to one timeline.
Yes. It's due to the nature of his birth.
Okay.
He exists and doesn't exist at the same time.
Okay.
I think it's also worth noting that you'll see on the cleric looks more like a ranger, so you don't really quite know that they're actually a cleric / wizard. But he also has a really prominent golden arrow and a
Very vampire-looking globe.
a very vampiric looking red drift globe.
Okay. That's your picture up there, right?
And so they've just returned to the woods out of coming out of the Fey Dark, spending some time down there figuring out the tricks the vampires use to keep other people out of their stuff.
Did we leave Karamikos or do we still stay in the forest?
The question was going to be, did you want the montage or did you want to shortcut your trip to the northern reaches?
I mean, I think the only detour was going to be seeing my budding boyfriend, but I'm happy with either.
What about Josh?
Josh is currently dealing with a screamy baby because she decided that I told her off for something.
So
it.
Josh is not putting a vote in. How about Izzy? Would you like to go straight to the northern reaches or have the montage of trouble?
I like the sound of the montage of trouble. I think getting to learn and kind of make our way through sounds good, but That's my inclination.
It's okay. You can. It helps introduce people to what's actually happening when they get to see what the world's doing right now.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's horrifying and sometimes it's not so bad.
At the moment, I think it is more the former than the latter. At the moment, the way the world is, but whatever.
It's not going to be quite as bad as when you're in the Fey Dark.
That's true.
That's true, I guess.
And a restriction that has been placed on the characters is if they cross the borders of Galantry, the gods give them 1 hour before they'll kill them.
Okay. Where's the borders?
Stay away from Galantry.
So.
Oh, okay. That's just.
Which is
province,
unfortunate
isn't it?
for Zol's
Yeah.
character.
So the Galantrian region is this area up here.
Okay.
It's this area here.
We're going nowhere near it. That's all I need to know.
The master is trying to go from this side of the lake to this forest.
Yeah.
If he does so, there will be no more elves, including sky elves.
Leave Alfheim alone. Leave us
Okay.
alone.
The Traldaran people's home is here, but they also have colonies in the islands, in Darkin itself, and in Galantry. So they are a spread out people, though they'd never really made a nation for themselves when their king fell, many centuries in the past. And after the king died, he became a god.
Okay. That fits. I took culture of tyrannized. A failed rebel, so I'm a failed rebel.
So the one on the side here, the Thyatis, is the Romanesque Empire.
Yep.
The area here is what used to be Nithya, is now Yalarum, a cursed land.
Okay, we want to avoid that.
Even more cursed than you are.
Okay.
Then the 3 Norse nations are up there based on the Odin Thor mythology. There's a group of knights along the top here called the Haldanic Knights, which are a bane of Em and Josh's people. They basically they've been having a war with them for as long as anyone can remember.
Okay. So the Mongolian tribes are from where on the map?
Mongolian tribes are this whole area
Okay.
here. There's also the Etrugan tribes, which are here, which are based on more North American culture.
Okay. Yep.
But think of North American culture if the spirit animals actually lived amongst them.
Okay. All right.
So when you've got like the tribe of the bear, you'll find bear folk there.
Yep.
The tribe of the cat will have cat folk. So they,
Yep.
the totems that they have are living totems, not just spiritual totems. And they can spiritually call their totem, they can change into their totem.
Okay.
So they have all these abilities that they can do. To be honest, most of that wasn't in the original source material, so it's been expanded upon. It was the least fleshed out book out of the entire series.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those phone it in jobs.
Mm.
Sounds interesting until you look at the context and see how little they put into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going from Karamikos, there's quite a few interesting things that I can do from there. I'm just going to bring up the actual map because it helps to do that. As my site is still in development, it has a bit of a flux and stuff. So you guys are in the woods over here, and so you basically go south, follow the road, and follow the road up.
Okay. Roads are easy to keep track of and not get lost. I like that.
One of your common fears of where you come from is vampirism and werewolves,
Okay.
because they plague the surroundings and your people and culture.
So what's good defences against vampires and
Most of them wear garlic, carry silver,
Okay.
and have as many quirks as you can imagine and want to make up
Okay.
about how they go about their daily life. So they
Superstitions.
Don't
Lots of superstitions. Okay. Good.
I just put them down as quirks.
Okay. Good.
Who knows if they actually work or not?
All right. Good.
It might be you must always roll a dice 3 times and take the third result.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll take that. It's
But
just-
you just make up whatever you think quirk your character believes in. It may not be what the other Troldarans believe in, it's just what your character has been brought up to believe.
okay.
And it could be you must always step out of a door with your left foot. Why? I don't know.
It just works for me. I haven't been bit by a vampire. Still going.
Whereas the Sky Elves are more aloof and haven't really dealt with the rest of society.
Quite tucked away. Sheltered, I think.
Yes, they only have the flying races who ever see them, and most of them are dumber than they are. So they have a superiority complex compared to all other races.
Hey, we are gorgeous, alright? Have you seen me? I am 7 foot tall with wings to match, alright? Fine, it's fine.
Oh no, that's all perfectly fine. We do.
I mean, the cleric isn't quite as impressed as the giant T-Rex he saw, but you know, flying elves are pretty cool.
Because that is the T-Rex god.
T-Rex god is cool.
He does exist.
He does.
And amusingly, that's Josh's god there.
Smaller. He's smaller than the T-Rex god, and that means T-Rex is better.
Well, the T-Rex became a god while there was no humanoids on the planet.
Yep.
So Gary, that was the
Oh, okay.
Ka the Preserver is the T-Rex god.
Okay.
So when I come up with a whole bunch of really weird and strange things, it was created pretty much for this. They have 180 gods in the setting.
Okay.
And each god has power and the ability to manifest and mess with your lives. If you ever read the stories of how the Norse gods in the Netherlands and all that actually dealt with people,
Yeah.
how they were acting like little children,
Yep.
imagine that's these gods.
Okay.
And they all have their own power base. So, with your choices at this stage, I believe you are doing the slow dash through time. I'm just going to bring out I do have a thing of what happens during the year. Cool.
Our mini monologue. Well, yeah, large monologue. You know.
Well, it sort of goes through how long it actually takes and things you see along the way, because you never know what may be useful to you in the end.
Mm.
Having broken all my menu system, I have to remember where I stuck the right thing to get to. So you're currently in. Let's see that. Current game date is the 26th day of the 6th month of the year 1010. To give you more of an understanding, middle of the year is summer,
Okay.
being northern hemisphere and based roughly on our world.
Mm-hmm.
You have the 3 moons of a season are the power base of that element,
Mm-hmm.
and the changing between seasons is the power base of darkness, because they're all about helping diminish one so another can start. So without one being able to diminish the others, one will stay in power all the time. With the current game day, you would have heard of the day before is known as Ixion Day, where Ixion shone light where darkness has reigned for many years, and every day on that day light shines through the darkness. Which Josh's character didn't actually know that he caused a yearly event.
Yes, there.
Of daylight in an area always overcast. And so a lot of people upset with him because that's where undead walk freely normally.
Okay.
Well, if you've got the sun blocked out, you're generally pretty safe. And being on the 26th day of the month, it is also what's called the quarter moon waxing, where the moon is just starting to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And being summer, it's a red moon.
Okay.
There are 3 red moons in the year. Each colour of the moon represents the element of the
Okay.
season it's in. And while there are 12 black moons, there are only 4 major black moons, which represents the changing of the seasons.
Okay.
They just have a lot of minor ones.
Okay.
Well, they don't get to have their power in a 3-month block. They got to share it, so they get a little more holidays.
Okay.
Okay. So, as each of those hexes there represents 8 hours of travel.
Okay.
You join these guys at a place called the, which used to be known as Xanathar's Keep, in the forest of Radnet. Where you get to spend the night with them there, hearing the tales of daring and do,
Mm-hmm.
and you manage to get signed up to help them on this quest as a way to help fix your mistakes of the past. As you have a cleric of time amongst you who may literally be able to change your past.
Wow. Okay. So I could lift
Like
the curse that way. There's
like
always a
convincing-
way.
But convincing him to do so generally requires you to create enough of a reason for him to tamper with time and
Okay.
risk annihilating you completely.
Yeah. Okay. There's a downside risk.
Things to be balanced.
Yes.
It's very hard to change something that requires you to know what's happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Such as you want to go back and stop someone stealing from you. You go back, you stop them stealing from you. But then you don't go back because no one's stolen from you.
Okay. Yeah. Paradox. Mm-hmm.
Or you create a splinter universe where you never went back. So when you go back to the future, there's 2 yous, one who never went, and the current you, and you're going,
Okay.
You need a paradox correcting time code. One of the paradoxes dies.
well, you could just pull out the sword and go, there can only be one.
Got a Highlander over again?
So with that, you do get have a conversation with a guy in a hat over a orb of communication.
Okay.
He asks, what do you intend to do with your travels?
Well, the world's falling apart, isn't it? We could try to help to save everything. The gods are all at war.
But if you can't save everything, what's most important to save?
I don't know.
If someone was to tell you what was most important to save, what would you do?
Well, I can consider it. You know, I'm on the run. I'm open to options.
So people are chasing you.
Probably. Possibly.
Is there anything I should know about so I can...
Well, you know, when I escaped, a lot of people died.
Did you kill them?
It depends on how you assign responsibility.
If you set a house on fire, the fire does kill them, but you did set
I
the
was
house
possessed
on
at the
fire.
time. Does that count?
Did you invite the possession in?
I didn't realise that's what would happen.
So, yes, there is some responsibility on your part.
Okay. Does that mean Okay.
So, mass murder is a bit of an issue if you do it intentionally. Accidental mass murder may be able to have some penance done.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping for option 2 here.
Well, on the bright side, you can only be killed a couple of 100 times.
Okay, I didn't know I could be killed more than once, but okay.
Well, we do have the ability to bring people back from the dead.
Yeah, all right. I'm not sure why you would to kill them a second time, but
Depends on how angry they are.
okay.
Sometimes you really need them to learn a lesson.
Or you're a halfling, he says. They're the last people you want to anger. There weren't any halflings involved, were there? He asks.
No, not that I'm aware of, but I actually don't know for sure.
Do you know where it happened?
I don't know place names because they haven't got place names, but the city or near the city where I grew up, wherever that
Okay.
might be.
So there are two major cities in this nation. One is the capital, and one is Kelvin.
I took a background of tyrannise, so one that's got some sort of ruling oligarchy that's happy to oppress, or some ruling dictator who's happy to oppress.
That's all of them.
Okay.
And they're all, the Calvin is a particular religious nut.
Okay.
He's one of the leaders of the church.
Okay.
That seems like a
We've got to be aligned with some religion though, so I don't know enough about
There
it.
are two main religions of Karamikos, one being the Church of Traldara, and one being the Church of Karamikos. The Church of Traldara is an old faith
Yeah.
who follows the dead king
Okay.
and his wife.
Okay. That might be more appropriate for me.
So they follow Halav, Petra, and Zerchev are the three main gods they follow.
Okay. So
Hello.
maybe the other one then, trying to rebel against the other one.
Which is happening quite a bit.
Okay.
Both churches are welcome in the country.
Okay.
Just that very few nobles believe in the Church of Traldara.
Okay. All right. That sounds like Church of Traldara it is, because that's the roof. So.
Okay, so with that, he says he's happy for you to sign on with the group. If you're too strict to your goals and what you would do, you might not be flexible enough for the time to come.
Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
Knowing all the answers to the questions he gave you was not a good sign.
Okay. Next time I'll play dumb.
And he says, luckily for us, you didn't have to play this time.
Okay.
And then you find yourself amongst the others not long after that, having been told that, by the way, he's joining you.
Okay. Hi.
Which is generally Dressel's introduction to the group.
Okay.
He doesn't say names, he doesn't explain, he just walks off.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. It's alright, this is a normal.
This is, he does this a lot, does he?
I got introduced as friend. No
Friend
context.
friend with a slight question mark, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Context was not provided. It took a while to understand what was happening.
It doesn't help that you were literally pulled out and then pulled into the Fey-Dog, but that's fine.
It was deeply confusing. Was then turned into a child within within hours of this.
Was it turned, or did you really want to be a child with your bad roll?
I mean,
Bit of A, bit of B.
look, I regressed a little bit. Okay, very sheltered life.
Your host has put together some horses for you, for those who may need it.
I'm quite happy to fly. It's,
I'm sure if I chose any other horse apart from Artemis, I would get my ass kicked at the moment.
Okay.
Considering I'm only just in Artemis's good grace. Just.
Because your murder hobo Axbeak is happily taking flying lessons.
Yes.
with the
And I
griffin.
need to remember next time I'm in a major city to get him a collar of feather fall. Is that right, Martin?
Yep.
Yeah. So he doesn't, accidentally die.
So he is
And-
learning
and-
the
and-
attack action, death from above.
Yeah.
And also make sure that that Ares doesn't drop him too many times in a day from great heights.
And you see amongst the horses some really beautiful animals.
Okay.
So a almost glowing horse just shimmers in the light, which is the celestial mount of your Veiled Ranger.
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
Impressive.
Atlas, not Ares. I just keep getting that confused. Sorry.
I'm sure he'll be very upset with you.
I know.
Maybe he just wants to be more warlike because you keep calling him the God of War.
Pretty much. Because I was tossing up between those two names, and now I literally can never remember.
You'll decide on
which
one and then use the other one.
Pretty much.
So she also has a griffin and a axe beak.
Okay.
Have you ever played any of the Final Fantasy games?
No, I have not. My son
Okay,
played
so
them, but I haven't.
Think of an ostrich that has a beak that looks like an axe.
Yeah, I know the concept. It's there's a I know what you're talking about.
And her bird is a little more intelligent than most
Mm-hmm.
because it learned how to be an ambush predator.
Okay.
Because I taught it from a hatchling, because we got them as eggs.
And so it ate its brother,
Okay.
which is how some of the party got introduced to the fact that they created a murder hobo.
Okay.
And then they fed him coffee,
Okay.
and he didn't sleep for a week.
Yeah.
So besides him, the griffin, Atlas, not Ares.
Atlas. Yeah, Atlas.
There might just have to be a second one thrown in there at some point.
I know. Well, I do have like 6 of them, so they probably all have very similar names.
They all start with A and have 4
Yeah,
letters,
Okay.
Exactly.
or 5. Besides them, you can see that there is a halfling that looks like he's riding a boat in the water.
We're on a road, aren't we?
Well, you're currently in a keep, getting ready to go.
Keep. Oh, okay.
He has that dashing, I'm a sailor look.
All right. Okay. Standing at the prow of the boat. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
He does that a lot, especially when he's not here.
Oh.
And then you have the other ranger who's not failed yet, off to the side, reading papers that she'll hide whenever anyone comes close because she's not supposed to worship that person anymore.
Okay.
Goes, no, never followed that person whatsoever. I don't know who you're talking about. Basically, her current character is enamored with her previous character's exploits,
Okay.
who then betrayed her people in the end and became a outcast. So, saying her exploits to her people is enough to get them thrown out. Okay, so then you have Shogal as well, who has a fiery-looking steed with wisps of heat coming off it.
Okay. I might be safer on a horse, I think, but anyway.
And then you've got Drazo, who has a cart and what looks like a large Clydesdale.
Okay, I could ride the cart with Drazzle. That sounds safe.
You do see that the Clydesdale is clawing at things every now and then.
Okay. Which the Clydesdale? Clawing at things.
Mm-hmm.
Not hoofs, but claws.
Oh, it's got hooves.
Okay.
Just treating him.
You just see sparks come up like claws.
Okay.
What is your character's... give your character a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay. Anything I get specialist die on something or other. Oh, I just roll it. That's 18.
18. Okay, so you sort of see inside the Clydesdale image that of a large drake.
Okay, all right. Illusion or something.
Blue in colour, who is staring directly at you, giving you the a direct eye contact as you're staring at him.
Okay.
And you can see his claws getting sharper, his teeth getting bigger, and realise his head's right in front of you as you're staring at him.
Okay. Impressive.
He's craned his head all the way back from the front to come to go face to face with you. Which to everyone else just looks like a head of a horse has gone.
Okay. Well, all right. I'm not sure whether it's the safest thing to ride in the ride on the cart, but
As long as it's friendly, it's okay.
Yeah, well, it's alright, as long as you don't, piss him off.
Stare at him too long or call him
Stare at
names.
him.
okay.
Be nice to the drake.
Be nice. Okay.
And there is a warning from some of the other members of the party saying there's a door on the back of the cart, don't touch it.
Is it? Oh, okay. So it's not a. I was thinking of an open cart.
It is an open cart with a big metal door that goes nowhere.
Okay.
Leave the door alone.
Leave the door alone. All right.
Oh,
There's a time
don't-
wizard or somebody driving the cart. So
And don't relieve yourself in the forest by yourself. And I point to.
okay. Well, I'll go to the toilet before we leave then.
You need the buddy system when you go for pee.
Okay. All right.
Because anyone by themselves is saying, catch me to the Axby.
All right.
Because apparently that's where he gets his most kills. And he has staked out outhouses before.
Okay.
So always make sure you look up. Okay, so you start heading off with a nice procession. Some of these people have become lords in their own right now, starting to get nobility and fame. A few of them have medals of service, having fought in the war to stop the Master over winter. Once winter finished, the Master stopped sending forces, but he is believed he'll come back in this winter again.
Okay.
For some reason, he only attacks over winter.
So I'm in August company then. Okay.
Well, they had the high ground with the elves holding the Master's forces at bay on the edge of Galantry.
Remember that in the background. Yep.
Whereas the Tuesday group had the low ground between the plateau and the lake, and the Wednesday group were on the lake itself. So they all share the same story. So if you do something spectacular here, they'll hear about it.
Yeah. I think sensible being the high ground.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so with all these interesting things happening, I'm just going to look up. Where did that go? Yeah, I thought I hit that. That's good. Okay. So yes, you've heard the rumours that the elves are leaving Elfhame for good. There's talk going amongst the Chaldar that the elves are pulling out of this world.
They're leaving the world.
Yeah.
Wow. Deserting a sinking ship?
It's either leaving the world or being forced out, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
But they may leave the region forever.
Does that mean, because they came and helped us over winter,
They did.
does that mean we won't have their support in the coming year?
There's a good chance you will not have their support at all.
I mean,
Oh,
to be
that's,
fair, they don't all want to
good.
die.
And considering what was told to Chauvel, if they're supporting you come next winter, it may be you who they shoot and not the Master.
Mm.
They've been given a deadline which you don't know to leave the region by, or they will be eradicated.
Do I know this?
Chauvel has said some of it.
I was going to say, I was at the front with the elves in my backstory, so...
Except you're at a different front. You're protecting the great tree from the mother tree, whereas the others are protecting the children trees.
Right, yes.
Multiple wars happening at once. Okay. So they do talk about the one thing you've heard about is every spring, it's past now, there is a massacre on the Duke's Road, which is the road from the Red City up into the mountains.
Okay.
And the massacre is normally a non-Troldaran.
Massacre of whom? By who?
No one knows. It's been happening every year since the road was put in.
Okay. Like a sacrifice to maintain the road or something.
If it was a sacrifice, it would have some sort of benefit,
Okay.
but it was normally merchants, nobles, families. But when the giants started to come in numbers, giants have been the ones who've been falling recently.
Okay.
and the person is whoever's doing the massacre is massacring them just as easily as it was killing helpless people.
But that's not out. That's not out. That's in the past. That was in the spring.
And it happens every spring.
Yeah.
Sometime during the spring, something wakes up and kills.
All right. Don't travel on the road in spring.
Yep. And
I have heard though that if you've eaten enough garlic, you'll be safe.
and the stories do say that the person stalking the Duke's Road has been stalking the forest for over 1,000 years.
Exactly.
And
Oh, so it's Uncle Dracky. It's fine. He's friendly.
Giants don't normally eat their garlic, do they? Don't they? Blood and bones.
well, if you've got enough garlic on you, they don't need seasoning.
Okay.
It's like someone prepared food this morning.
Mm.
Dial dinner. So that's one of the things that you've been hearing about. And another thing is that there has been a reward offered for the capture of Flame Flicker, the most notorious thief of the Troldaran people.
Okay. Is this a good person or a Robin Hood type thief or just a...
It's believed to be a Robin Hood type thief. No one knows who the identity of Flame Flicker is, just that they really embarrassed the Troldaran nobility and the Theatan nobility.
Okay.
They normally don't target the poor, they only target the rich who do not share it with the poor.
Okay.
Which you guys are starting to become the rich. Are probably reaching target range soon.
Okay.
So the place that these guys had just come from is called Krozegi Keep, which is a ruin that they realized is a portal to the Fey Dark and a connection to the vampire network. Not that the vampires actually play well with each other.
What was the name of that bloke again who was so ritual? Flame
Flicker.
Flame Flicker, that's it.
And the Karamekians keep requesting new blood for their war with the giants up in the top corner of their nation at Castilian Keep, which you would remember as being Keep on the Borderlands as being the old module. So all those modules are running here at various places.
Okay.
They're always looking for soldiers willing to fall on the swords of their enemies. They prefer it not to be that way, but hey.
Yeah.
So, commit a crime in the nation, you'll probably find yourself sentenced to the army.
Okay.
Why have a prison when you can make use of whatever they did out in the battlefield? Okay, so they're the main things that are happening. As it take you 3 days to reach the city of Speculum, meaning that you would reach there on the first day of the next month. As each month is 28 days. Cool. And the benefit we have there is there will be celebrations that day. Okay, so this is a very big holy day for the Troldaran people,
Okay.
known as Beast Day. It dates of the battle of King Halav versus the Gnolls that eradicated the Troldaran people, such that the Troldaran came about. Because the Troldar, who they were before, they believe they still are, but that culture reverted to the Troldaran when all the nation went through war, famine, and feast.
No, I'm true to my heritage.
As there are lots of celebrations going on as you reach the capital of the nation.
Okay.
You see dances, singers, most of the famous epics of the Troldaran people are on display.
Enjoy the holiday. Yeah, good.
As a local, you're basically given free entry.
Okay. Well, mix with
And
the
then,
crowds.
then they
Enjoy.
turn to the others and say 1 gold.
Sorry, turn to the others and say what?
1 gold
1 gold.
just to enter the city gates as part of the festival.
I will hand over gold. There's
Actually,
no point arguing.
might need to disguise myself. Could I be known here?
They knew you enough to let you in.
Okay. Okay, once I get lost in the crowd, I might disguise myself.
There's a good chance that they don't have a must kill you on site going.
Okay, good. It never hurts to be careful.
Really depends on who died in the process.
Probably just ordinary people.
If they were such as what was considered criminal element, then it might have even been seen as part of national service.
Well, you said that if you commit a crime, you get forced into the army. That fits well. So it's probably, an army camp or something of enslaved soldiers.
Okay, act of God happens. Don't say which God. Okay, so while you're here, you see such a lavish array of colours that even your elvish eyes are surprised by.
Wow.
You normally, your festivities are a little more tame compared to this. And people are dressed up in costumes, running into each other, running around, doing intricate dances that you couldn't even imagine trying to do with your wings.
That's fair. Dancing is not my forte.
Well, you normally dance in the air,
Yeah, exactly.
which means not a lot of touching.
We need space to fly, otherwise.
Yes. Touching wings too much does require a lot of skill or plummeting happens.
There's a reason I learned how to cast Featherfall.
And for Chauvel and Zal, they're hearing sights and sounds that just bring out wonder to them, because while they've been in lots of places, they've not seen such free abandon enjoyment, except for in major festivities that have a gathering of all the clans of the Ethengarians.
Interesting.
I just think you've missed this in the last 11 years of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really had many festivals in a long time, so...
Yeah, you're always away when the festivals happen. So yes, you get in, you do see once you're inside that a sign says that proceeds for entry go to the orphans and poor.
Okay.
I feel less bad about it now. Don't feel like I was getting robbed.
Well, you do have a feeling that taxes implied on everything bought at the festival also go to it. So everything's a little bit more expensive, but hey, people are paying for it because it helps the economy.
Okay.
And the more they can rob the non-natives, the better.
Yeah.
So yes, there are large tents, there are displays of griffins flying overhead. The griffin riders of Karamikos are famous in a lot of regions, just not where you are. But most of the others know that they are hired for diplomatic messaging across the region.
Okay.
Known to get things to where you want them to. If you're willing to pay a little more, you can guarantee it gets to where you're going to, but there's normally a trail of blood in the wake, as the Ethengarian horsemen will murder anyone who tries to stop them. And if you pay a little...
As Martin says that, the party members are probably looking at my griffin going,
And then you have the Gnomish air services, which are the cheapest out there for delivery, just that you can't guarantee it will go where you're sending it. They won't intentionally not let it get there, but their transportation vehicles have a habit of crashing, blowing up, going in the wrong direction, or just disappearing. And amongst the festivities, you see masterwork mechanics moving and showing displays. The gnomes of Karamikos are well known for supporting the celebrations and provide kids with little toys, no matter who they are,
Okay.
and paid for by the king, or Duke at this stage.
Okay.
So the Duke sponsors them to come and hands out little toys to all the kids.
Cool.
And all the toys do interesting and amazing but very useless things. But every kid who gets one laughs and loves it.
Good.
So anything you particularly want to get out of your day of your night of festivities, as you find out that this is the hour 10 of the festivities.
Mingle with the people. This is not the same as my home city, so there's,
It's
these
more
are
free
good rules.
abandoned here.
But
It's more free abandoned here, but the standard rule of non-clerical magic is outlawed.
okay.
Just that it's not as harsh a penalty here as it is in the city of Kelvin, which we're going to be going to soon,
All right.
which has your poster up on the wall there.
Okay. All right.
Alright, so what I'm hearing is don't cast spells here, because I'm not a
I was
cleric.
thinking disguise self, but
Well, it'd be hard to notice in the crowds,
yeah.
but the penalty of being noticed is extreme.
Okay. Well, I don't draw attention to myself. Then.
So in the capital, it's jail time.
Yeah.
In the city of Kelvin, it's service. You've
Is,
actually got to do
Does
stuff.
that include like holy symbols and stuff?
Holy symbols, anything from a cleric or a paladin is allowed. They don't care which they don't care which religion. But if you cast a arcane occult, which is the bardic or the warlock spells or nature spells, then there's a good chance you might get lynched by the locals, let alone the establishment.
Yep.
Anyone who's been known to be a spellcaster in the history of the setting of Karamikos and Troldara generally aren't good people.
Okay.
Very few good ones in there.
I'm going to keep my magic to myself. That's what I'm hearing.
This is where Zol.
Do I know enough to know that they have ways of detecting hidden magic? Like
They have ways of detecting active magic.
active magic. I was wondering whether things like disguise self will work.
Disguise self will be active magic,
Yeah.
and any wards or things they have may pick up a active item. So be it a spell, a magical item.
What about an item that is magical but not doing anything?
If it's not doing anything and it's not something that they find, they may come and investigate.
Okay. Don't sure I want to go to this Calvin place.
Most of Karamikos has a lot of those restrictions in there.
Okay.
It's just that it's the most extreme is Kelvin,
Okay.
because it's ruled by the one of the head priests of the Church of Karamikos. Okay, so yes, you do get to have a chance to go out and do stuff. You're even able to engage in mock battles for our paladin in the background. We will get there eventually.
Yeah.
So, I'm not, yeah. I think, Samir, upon learning that magic,
They
non-clerical
do have
magic.
rules up there. They also have rules about carrying weapons that are not peace-bound, as they call it, which is tied in place.
Yeah.
Though
Weapon stowed.
Weapons stowed
magic
and wrapped up.
away.
That's fine. I'm happy to do that. Don't want to draw attention to myself.
they do have problems with letting Drazzle in,
Okay.
because apparently he caused a lot of issues here one time. But they also have a hard time saying no to him.
Good.
His horse just keeps getting in their way.
All right. Okay.
How would I pay the guard 5 gold for Drazzle?
And the guards are sort of happily take the money and basically say, he's your problem now.
Good enough.
No butty.
You might notice he's never said that to his horse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we-
so I'm not sure his horse actually turns people into brick, so I could be wrong about that.
I think you have lost a stable hand over time.
Stable hands.
So yes, you've got packed streets. This is a thief's dream of a festival.
Yeah. I've got to stand out like a sore thumb in this crowd. Full 2 feet taller than everyone else around me with wings. Just
Though you do note that when Drazzle goes with his cart down the pathway, people just move away and look away from him. Try not to make eye contact.
I'm gonna stay close to Drazzle, I think.
He just whistles away as he's going along.
Yeah, I'm staying close to Drazzle. If I have to be on my feet for this, I'm gonna.
And there's about 2 guardsmen following on behind him, on their own horses.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just staying with Drazzle.
I'm on foot amongst the crowd nearby, but not drawing attention myself, not too
So
close.
you've heard that at one time Drazzle had an altercation with others of his kin
Yeah.
and basically removed them
Okay.
because they didn't do what he said.
All right.
And
This is known around here. Okay.
it's known around. He did that at Calvin.
Okay.
There was a bunch of black dragonborn
Mm.
who gave him lip,
Okay.
and all he said to the others was he sent them backwards. He put them through the back door of his cart. They've not been heard from since.
Okay. All
So
right. So
he's-
he'll
he-
draw attention. That's good. That's good. I'll be able to hide in the shadows here. I won't get the attention.
Say at least if Leximir draws attention anyway, so walking with Drazzle, it's just alright.
And you do hear people saying, "Don't want to go backwards. Don't want to go backwards. Don't want to go backwards." So apparently he might have done this more than once.
Good to know.
And there's been a saying, "Be nice or you'll go backwards,"
Okay.
because there's a known contingent of Dragonborn, and they don't know how many can actually do what he does.
Okay.
So yes, he takes Samir to a nice-looking inn that apparently has a lot of vacant rooms today.
Wonderful. How convenient.
A lot of people checked out when you checked in.
Good. That's fine. I'm happy with the space.
Room to spread your wings.
Yeah, exactly.
You do find that Drazzle also has wings as well. Not all Dragonborn have wings.
Okay.
When they first met him, he didn't have wings. But then time has a weird effect around him. What does your character want to do while mingling with the crowd?
My main objective here is to avoid drawing attention to myself. But I should try to stay near Drazzle, but he's gone and cleared out the whole inn.
He didn't clear him out. He just wanted to stay there.
I just want to stay there and that's sort of all left. So actually staying at that inn just draws attention. Why is some ordinary Burke staying there? So
Well, you would get a reputation of being a brave person. Bravery would be added to your name.
okay.
Only a fool would go into a place with a guy who meddles with time.
Yeah, I know. So I'm kind of thinking I'll go in I'll stay in the tavern down the road where I can sort of blend in.
It's barely standing room only. You're having to squeeze in. A lot of these people came from where Drazzle's staying.
Okay. All right.
They're squeezed into everywhere
I've
else.
slept on the streets before. I can do it again if I have to.
Sleeping on the streets during this festival, not a problem.
There's
A lot of people will be there.
A lot of people are doing that, I know.
The city now has a population 3 times its normal size.
Okay. Well, actually, maybe once it's dark, I might actually return to the Drazzle's Inn. Yeah.
This is the one night that you know of this month that no one ever sleeps in this city.
Okay.
festivals go on until dawn.
So I can stay on the streets all night.
Yeah.
Although I'm probably not superhuman. I don't know if I can actually get through without some sleep sometime.
What would happen is you get 1 levels of exhaustion for not sleeping,
Okay.
but you could always sleep on the cart.
That's what I was thinking. Sleeping the next day.
That's the benefit of taking a cart.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
So what is Zal and Chauvel doing amongst the Festival of Beasts?
So they'll probably be enjoying this time.
Okay, so you get into many fisticuffs, swearing contests, challenging people to come up with the worst possible curse they can, as well as many hand-to-eye coordination events, colouring, taste testing, and all-you-can-eat challenges.
All the while screaming paladin.
Yep.
And because of that, will always be respected wherever she goes here.
Yep.
It's one of the nations that love clerics and paladins,
Okay.
even if they're not the right
So
one.
very easy to find.
Very easy to find. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
And what is
I can be seen from miles away.
Okay.
basically you just see this paladin over there. Oh, that's where she is.
Okay. Good. So I can keep tabs.
You see the big golden arrow basically pointing down wherever the paladin goes.
Oh, okay.
And what about Zal? Who's holding that big golden arrow?
Just
I don't know. I mean, I'd probably just mingle and like fry things like food. And, I don't know, just like watch events. I don't
Okay.
know if there's gonna be anything that I'd be interested in participating in.
Well, there's so many things going on there that you would, in your character, would love what's happening. It suits your two characters quite clearly. If Yodri was here, he would be able to get into drinking contests, considering he's now lost the curse of being unable to drink alcohol.
He's probably already wandered off to do that.
Okay, morning comes round. What's the one thing Anton remembers of the night before?
There was this particular stunning dance and dancer that I was attracted to, but I kept my distance. I remembered it. I watched it, but I didn't participate. I kept my distance the whole time. And I also remembered to buy some garlic and eat some garlic before the sun rose. Because you've got to do that every day.
You recognise that she's a famous dancer from Lund, L-U-L-N,
Okay.
a city on the edge of the Black Eagle Barony.
Okay.
Well, township actually.
All right.
Very poor township because always raided. And known for her amazing dancing.
Okay.
Basically a national treasure of the nation, especially the Troll
All right.
people.
Well, no, I'll start the fan club, or if there's already a fan club, I'll sign up.
She's more than happy to dance with any of her fans.
Okay.
Mainly
I can't
because-
dance for nuts. I haven't got. I've got
Well,
dexterity and
give me
nothing
a-
else.
Give me a performance roll.
Performance, I don't have that either. I'd be better off with dexterity. Well, what's how bad is this going to be? 12. Completely.
You can add dex to that.
Can I? Well, 14.
14. So the benefit of level up is attributes and skills are not tightly
Oh, they're not what?
connected.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So if you can justify another attribute, that is perfectly fine.
Okay, all right. So.
And coordination does fall under dexterity.
Yeah, all right.
You're
So
trying to
I don't
channel it.
embarrass myself.
So you have an amazing dance. You are left breathless. You're sweating. You're completely
Okay.
beating, and she doesn't even look like she's has a single sweat bead as she moves on to the next
Okay.
fan.
All right. Well, I stagger off and lean against the wall and recover my breath.
you never had such vigorous exercise that had you panting, wanting for more.
Okay. Look around for a drink.
There are lots of drinks. One of the other fans hands you a fine ale.
Okay, fine ale. I'm quite suspicious, so I test it. I check it first. I don't know if I've got any relevant
that there are no
skill.
dead things floating in it as you look, and it's not dwarven, so it's not going to burn you. It
Okay.
doesn't appear to be elven, so it's probably not going to go straight to your head.
All right, so I think it's safe enough to drink then.
It has that slightly underdone taste that makes you think it's definitely Traldaran.
Okay, all right, that's fine. It's local. I can handle it.
Also cheap.
Cheap. Okay, cheap is good because I'm not loaded with money.
So it would have been about a copper stein.
Okay.
So someone didn't really. They may have given up a day's wages to you.
All right. Okay. Well,
But hey, the people here are very friendly on this day.
that is good, and I should return the favour.
And you did an amazing dance as far as everyone's concerned for someone so unskilled.
Okay, that is totally tolerant. I didn't fall flat on my face, so that's worth a free drink.
And you didn't embarrass her.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think I could.
what's something that Zal remembers from the night of festivities?
Probably just the sort of the difference in culture and sort of appreciating how people live their lives. As someone who travels a fine line between of his own different lives, with just seeing how other people live. So it's more just like people watching and learning more about their culture.
Okay, so yes, you have a very interesting time. A lot of it was a blur, but you wake up with something that you weren't expecting, and what was that? I generally give players free reign on a lot of stuff, as long as it sounds plausible.
Yep.
Is there a particular thing they're known for doing?
They are known for doing lots of different things, but you could have gotten some of the local artisan crafts, or they are known for their animal raising. So you could have gotten yourself another animal for your collection.
I think I'm gonna knock several of my animals. No, I'd probably end up with a really interesting gift that I don't remember getting for Thalius. It's Thalius, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So you got an interesting scarf of Traldaran design, which is considering it is his cultural heritage. Okay, so Chauvel, what does Chauvel remember from the night? What's the most visual thing she remembers?
She learned lots of new swear words. Use on the party.
I'll say. Chauvel probably would have taken in that maybe some people got close to defeating Chauvel in a bit of a tussle. Not many would have.
The one person who did one person you remember defeating you was a halfling. You didn't stand a chance against him.
However, I would like to mainly take all the different kind of languages people use to curse me out and all that kind of stuff. All the different linguistics, basically.
Okay, so you do remember that the curses they do in this festival aren't the aggressive sort of curses. They're the you challenge someone to a curse off, and basically the one with the most interesting curse wins. And so you're learning the art of cursing.
Mm-hmm.
It's something the Ethengarians do as well. Just that they haven't been doing it as long. And from what you heard, they are very inventive here.
Mm-hmm.
He's bringing back notes.
Mm-hmm.
This is how cursing is done.
Mm-hmm.
Such as, may you only eat something that someone else has already eaten. And goes on from there. The more horrific, the more people laugh. And you do notice that of all the people that went to the festivities, Chauvel was the only one no one tried to pickpocket. Okay, so that brings us to Samir. What does Samir remember most from the night?
Samir remembers looking out the window and watching the Griffin Riders flying around in the air and wanting to join in the aerial festivities. That's, it's a pretty fantastic thing to watch other winged creatures when you haven't seen some in a while.
Well,
I mean,
they do many
you could have
tricks.
taken Atlas out. That would have been fun.
I prefer my own wings.
As in, like, fly with Atlas.
It's true.
Okay, does Samir remember anything else from that night?
I think after a while of warming up to the crowd, she'll try to venture out and see some of the sights and kind of learn a bit of the culture, as she hasn't ever been to anything like this before.
Okay, so the first thing for your character does remember from venturing out without other people is this is the most hands-on place you've ever been. Not a single person could resist running their hands on your wings and touching and pulling and prodding and feeling and...
Yep, I'm trying to pluck a feather.
Not trying to pluck a feather, just feeling it. And you getting from being a place where everyone gives you space to you were the center of the touch.
Very, very careful not to spark people.
Ranging from little kids to grown adults touching you in wonder.
The kids, children are children. You have to be gentle and kind, and the adults I can get a bit flustered by, but the children I'm more than happy to allow to see and look. So
yes, most people give you compliments. Some you don't understand what they're saying. It just sounds nice. And occasionally it sounds like someone swearing at you, except they have a smile on their face.
To you too. I think Samir's very happy to be there. Once she's gotten used to the idea of everyone just being around her, you should go out and be center of attention. It was never shied away from that kind of thing. So
Samir has an amazing night of being one of the rarities in the area. This is the first time most of them will have ever seen a winged elf, because the winged elves don't come this far.
Winged elves? Yeah, no.
The winged elves rarely leave the small alcove they have in the world.
It's true.
And there's only one settlement of winged elves. They spread out over a mountain range, but it's one settlement. When you can fly to the next peak across, that's part of the same settlement.
Yep, that's true. Samir's she's the black sheep, effectively. She's grown up and never understood why no one was willing to venture beyond the mountains, so she's kind of just set off.
Because for them it wasn't safe.
Oh.
Though you do find that as you inquire about dyes and other stuff like that, people happily give you stuff. So you've now got yourself a selection of colours that you can dye your hair, your skin,
Excellent.
your wings.
I
People
mean,
even happily painted your wings for you if you wanted to, so you could
Yeah.
have rainbow-coloured rings
perfect.
right now.
Let's do that. That sounds fantastic because, I mean, Sue's grown up in a place where everyone's, it's all pale colours and whites. It's all bland and boring. No one's willing to
It's very rare you see two people looking the same here.
bring on the colour, the difference. It sounds fantastic.
And sometime after midnight, the gnomes set off fireworks.
I'm glad I'm not going to be in the sky for that.
And so when everyone wakes up in the morning, it has that lull after a storm. There's trash everywhere.
Yeah.
People lying in the streets happily snoring. Guardsmen moving through, making sure that no one's been messed with or stolen from. Which makes you understand why they had signs in various languages at the entryway, saying that proceeds were going to charity. You think thieves were going to charity too? Because thievery was a proceed of the event. Very creative in how they word things.
Yep. Okay.
Is there anything like Zol could do to help clean up or help people or?
Well, you could, but you think it's going to take 3 or 4 days to clean up.
Oh, okay.
It's not a small event. This is the biggest Traldaran event of the calendar.
Yeah.
The one where they all get to just be whatever they want to be for the day.
I'm a rainbow-coloured angel.
I'll comment on our very fancy golden ring frame.
Yay! I'm happy.
So yes, you end up meeting back up at the inn, and you see that Drowsel's been there the whole night.
I'm looking for breakfast. I've just been up all night and had no sleep, and I just need something to keep me going.
Okay, so the only inn that still has food apparently is where Drowsel's staying.
Okay, well, I'm past the point of worrying. What have they got on this morning?
Everyone else is in clean-up mode. And the innkeeper is quite pale as you walk in. He has the shakes,
Okay.
but he's happy to serve you food.
All right.
He just says he's seen stuff. He doesn't even ask for money.
Oh, okay.
So-
I leave him a coin or two on the counter anyway.
He doesn't even notice.
I don't even notice. All right. Well, I feel like I'm being ignored, so I keep my money.
Oh no, he does look in your direction, but he's got that twitch, and he's looking like he's very afraid.
Are you sure you're all right?
Oh.
Anything I can do to help?
I don't think he wants to get sent backwards.
He sort of glances towards Dressel and then glances back.
I think he might be leaving later today. This morning, maybe.
He puts a bottle of brandy in front of you.
Okay.
It's not a cheap bottle of brandy either.
It's not a cheap bottle of brandy. Okay, all right. Okay, well, that'll be for the road.
It'll make the trip quite pleasant.
Oh, well. I hope I've got something, a pillow or something to cool up in. What do I put in my
I
equipment?
will give your character an insight roll.
Oh, an insight roll. Okay. Is this one I've got? Please be a skill I've got for once. Ah, yes! I even get an expertise dice. What an exciting thing that is. 6 plus 9.
Is that a high expertise dice or just
A D4. A D4. I don't have any
D4s.
D4s. So 6 plus 9, 15 plus 4 is 19.
19. So you don't have a D4?
I don't have a D4 now. I hate D4s. They don't roll properly.
Depends on what type you have.
Yeah.
You can get square ones with rounded edges, so they only fall on 4 different
I
sides.
really want to get a D8 that has 1 to 4 on it.
You look at CanCon at the dice; they will have multiple different types there.
Okay, I should look at it. Yeah.
So, yes.
I've got size that's as Mark described. It's kind of like it's kind of like two shapes mushed together, so it will like roll more like a d6, and then kind of like if it rolls on the curve, it will fall to the side.
So, looks as if the guy has been terrified and up all night.
Okay.
And glancing around, you can see parts of the inn looks like it's changed.
Okay.
It's not the same as what you'd expect a place like this to be.
Okay. So I can see. I
I
understand his trauma.
Out of some of the windows, you can see thunderstorms.
It's not thunderstorming out there a moment ago, was it? Okay.
Another one you can see night. Another one looks like it's late afternoon.
All right. Okay. Curiosity's got a better me. I got to look out at each of these windows, try and identify.
Not one location is looking out into the city.
Is it the same place at a different time, or is it a different time and place?
Could be both, because they don't look like the city you just came from.
Okay. I don't recognise any of it. Okay.
You don't.
All right.
What did you do to this poor person?
Didn't you get a bit worried? Look out, open the door. Front door still leads out at the street where I came in?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Right.
Drazzle looks at Zal and says, Drazzle, perform ritual.
Oh, wow. And scaring the poor property was part of that ritual?
Drazzle not notice. Drazzle offer hug to proprietor. As you look around, the proprietor is currently leaving the place.
He's just nerfed out of there.
Yep. So yes, you ended up having a wonderful festival. A lot of you are exhausted. Did you want to rest before going off?
If Drazzle leaves, I leave. If Drazzle doesn't, I'm looking for somewhere to sleep.
Okay, so there's you each can get a room for yourself. Nice big plush bed.
Okay.
Normally reserved for the nobility.
Oh, okay. I sleep in a noble's bed. Well, make sure to bar the window and lock the door.
Okay. Sitting on the bed, it feels like you're floating on air.
Okay, is this magic?
Possibly.
Detect magic.
As you're looking around with your ability to detect magic, you're seeing strange sigils floating around the room.
Do I recognise any of them?
No.
Okay. Does it? Yeah.
Say sorry. You can do an Arcana check.
You can do an Arcana check if you'd like to.
Okay. I'm good at Arcana. That's something I'm good at. What have I got Arcana? I've got experience dice on this one. Okay. Ooh, I have an 18. So that's 25.
Okay, looking at it, you think someone's activated some rune magic in here. You're not sure what the rune magic does because whatever it's done has messed with space and time.
Okay.
Was it essentially Drazzle?
I think Drazzle just does this as a matter of course, does he?
Most of them haven't seen him do it.
Okay. He has done it.
He has done it quite a lot.
But no one ever sees him do it.
Very few people see him do it.
That's because he's got something with time. Okay. All right. I'll just have to hope that this doesn't mean I disappear into some time warp or another world. I'm too tired to deal with it.
Well, you could be your own father.
Okay.
It's making it very confusing.
I'm just going to... I got no way of determining whether or not it's safe to fall asleep or not, and I'm too tired to fight it, so I'm sleeping.
Okay. You have a wonderful night of nightmares.
Of nightmares, okay.
So, it's wonderful because you did not think you were that imaginative.
Okay.
God.
And the dreams didn't make sense because every time you thought it was happening, it never happened that way.
All right.
It's like reliving all your past mistakes in one moment.
Okay. When I wake up, am I feeling rested?
Yep.
Do I remember any of that?
Yep.
Does it make any sense to me?
No.
All right. Okay. I'll just chalk that one down to experience.
Everyone else who rests has the same pleasant experience.
Okay.
Just trance. No sleep for the elves, thank you.
Though you can still dream in a trance.
Deal.
You don't do it very often, but when it happens, it's normally prophetic.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
I would love to know what nightmares the winged elf gets.
Yeah, so would I.
Well, most likely the nightmares are about conforming, fitting in, being the same as everyone else,
Yeah.
crushing dreams, stamping on enthusiasm, trying to be as bland as possible, and then going to war with people who don't seem to understand that change is part of the world. They would like everything to stay the same as it is, as it always has.
Boring.
Never learning something new, never doing something different. And you've had more meals in the night before of different flavours than you've had in most of your upbringing. So in over 100 years, you had less meal options than you had in one night.
Yeah, God, feels so boring. So boring.
But well preserved.
Very well preserved, but boring. What's the point in living so long if you just do the same thing over and over and over again?
But the thing is, an elf will stare at a field for weeks at a time simply because they can. Just because you have the oomph to actually do more than stare at the field is why you don't fit in.
Yes.
And being told patience is probably one of your curse words.
Yes.
Okay, so what sort of things did Zal have going through, such as reliving Zal showing off to others his ability to hunt a fish on the side of a river?
Yeah, dying, being brought back, being shown some humility, reliving past mistakes.
Though also part of the dream was saying things other than your pride and seeing what happened.
Oh, okay.
And in everything, in every other alternate thing you gave up instead of your pride, things just got weird and worse.
Right.
In one you gave up love and you could never find love afterwards.
That's sad.
But you were still a ranger, but you didn't love anything, including your animals.
Yeah, that would be really sad.
And you gave up your sight, which made it really hard to shoot things.
That would have been very hard, staying as a ranger for that.
You gave up your voice, which made it really hard to pray to things.
Also would have been difficult as a ranger, but not undoable.
Survivable, but not an easy survivable. So you got to see all these different things you could have done. And how about what sort of things would Chauvel dream?
Am I dreaming or having nightmares?
Bit of both.
Well, my nightmares will still consist of the rock that is going to save us all being thrown into the chasm. However, if I'm dreaming, it'll be the warmth of fire and the sun beating down on me. And causing a supernova in a town that has never seen sunlight for years.
During that dream, you find that each year on that date, the sun shines. So one day a year, that town is hit by sunlight.
Yay.
There's an annual event, which is why they remember it, because it keeps happening.
And the god was like, I have power here now.
Yep. I know this place exists now.
And it may not be just you who worships the sun god there. So you do believe that a contingent of Ixion's followers now reside within the town in Moldavia,
Yay.
ready to strike out and kill more of Zal's family.
Right.
And you also get to relive the moment where you enacted punishment on Zal's parents,
Oh yeah, that thing. Oops.
having executed them for necromancy.
That's right.
Turns out they were necromancers, but they weren't the evil kind.
Yeah.
There's more than one kind.
Just because you have a power doesn't mean it's evil.
Okay.
So it's how you use the power that makes it evil.
Oh, good to know. I'm glad that's the case.
Yes. So most characters have lawful, neutral, or chaotic as an alignment, with good and evil being how they act.
Okay.
Chaos change. It's not the same life every day, elves. Come on, we can do this.
Most elves are chaotic. The winged elves are lawful. True or false?
I'm not very well suited, okay?
Okay, so yes, you wake up in the morning and hear that Druzzle has started to put his cart together
Okay.
with the purring of his horse.
Okay. We'll go down. He doesn't need any help, does he?
Well, his horse will put itself in its thing as much as he helps it.
Okay. I just remembered that.
Because he just reaches up with its nice hooves and puts things over it.
I have my familiar Proshka, who is a pseudo dragon. What does he make of the? Just makes it a bit harder to blend in if you've got familiar.
Well, your familiar doesn't mind them.
Okay, good. We won't interfere with the cart being assembled. We'll just observe.
As you do notice, he does lock the gate on the back. Apparently, it was opened at some point during the night.
Okay.
Someone went in or someone came out, I'm not sure.
Hard to tell.
Do you often unlock it, Drazzle?
Yeah.
Druzzle looks and says, "Door unlocks off.
Okay.
Want to go through?"
No, but Proshka's tempted.
He pats your little familiar.
Proshka's might be silly enough to try something stupid. What's his wisdom? Oh, it's not too bad. No, you don't want to. You don't want to do that. You don't know what could happen. Don't try to open the door either. Don't try to unlock it. Just leave it alone.
You notice it has some masterwork locks on it.
Okay, well we wouldn't be able to unlock it anyway.
But you have a feeling the door wants to be opened.
Yeah, well. Just resist that. Resist that.
Okay. So you're gathering yourself ready to go as is about midday on the first day of the month. Well, actually midday on the second day of the month. Because it was the first day that you had the festivity.
Yep.
And you have no problems heading out. Mainly because by the time Druzzle starts moving, there's a procession of guardsmen making sure he leaves.
Okay. I think it's safe to travel with no one's going to cause us any trouble, so I'll sit on the cart.
Seems he is well known here.
Mm.
And you spend the rest of the day traveling to the ruins of Krakatos, one of the former capitals of Traldara. It's been deserted for a long time. They think that King Halav may have once ruled from there.
Okay.
But all the stuff that happened during that time, most of that's been lost through famine and death and war.
If we get there in time, I might give myself. Oh no, you shouldn't go off on your own. There's an axe-murdering bird running around, isn't there?
Yeah. Buddy system.
Anyone want to join me on a tour of the ruins?
You've been there before.
Okay.
The downside to the ruins is that sometimes there's werewolves and vampires there.
Well, look, I had garlic this morning. I'll be fine.
All the wereballs.
Wereballs are they?
Wereballs are the most vicious lycanthropes in this city.
Okay.
Werewolves are considered nicer,
Mm.
which is a scary thought.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll have to
But that
pass on that.
the red city up to where you came from earlier is where most of the wereballs are found. Only one is enough to cause a rumor of horror.
Stay away from those where we can.
Okay, so you're about to head upriver. There are flotillas of halflings happy to take people.
We're riding on a cart.
I know. But I was just pointing out that there's a lot of, most of the river folk in the region are halflings.
Okay.
Because, well, they can squeeze more of them onto a boat than a normal person can, and still carry more goods than a normal person can.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And they sink most of the normal people-sized boats.
They wouldn't have a barge to take Drazzle on his cart, would they?
They would possibly have one. They can take large things.
Okay.
Just that they don't do it very often because you got to convince them to give up other space for their food.
I'm not going to tell Drazzle what to do, though.
No. He normally just follows and writes what people do.
You don't want to ride ever been on a barge?
Yes.
Okay, alright, you've done it before, so it's not really, it wouldn't be a new experience going upriver on a barge.
No.
Okay,
Or flying on one.
okay, fine one, yeah. Enjoy the scenery, I think.
I agree.
Okay, so you start heading up the ill-fated Duke's Road.
Oh, yes.
But
It's
we're
not,
fine.
it's not spring.
It's not spring, we're fine. We're okay.
No.
As you see, grave markings almost up its entire length, with dates that range quite a long time.
Oh, dear. Something has been going on.
Most of them happen in this. You got a bunch of them in the same year.
Yep.
And all stories that talk about this, it wasn't a pretty slaughter either.
Yeah.
They weren't taken for food. They weren't taken for blood. They weren't taken for other things. They were just massacred.
For the sport of it. Oh dear.
And it takes you 2 days to reach the city of Calvin. You're actually moving faster than you expected. Partly because very few people like to stay here.
That's understandable. It's creepy.
Okay.
Actual cemetery.
Well, it is a cemetery along there. And one of the reasons necromancers are so hated in a lot of regions is there are places like this all over the world.
Okay, yeah.
So on the 6th day, you rock up at Calvin.
I'm worried about the fact that they're so hostile to magic.
Yeah, me too. Gonna be very quiet.
Can we bypass this Drazzle and keep going?
The road goes through the city.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I can go over the top, but
Yeah, Drazzle on his cart though, can't.
Drazzle definitely can, but his cart won't. At least not that I know of.
He's never done it that you know of.
Maybe I'm safe enough in the cart with Drazzle. I still think I need to put disguise self on so I'm not recognisable.
You can do that. Considering you know that the horse has an illusion on it.
Yes. And I presume that, subtle detect magic, I'm presuming the whole cart detects and radiates magic.
It does.
Okay, so yeah, alright. So if I'm in disguise myself to look like, what am I going to look like?
You do see that the cart has a lot of ornate dragon symbology all over it.
Okay. Could I make myself a dragonborn, or was that a bad move?
What was it?
Make myself look like a dragonborn, or was that a bad move? A dragonborn child?
You've never seen a dragonborn child.
So I don't know what they look like, do
What you've heard is a dragonborn is an adult at the age of 2.
I? Okay, alright, I know nothing.
And they're completely sexless.
Could I look like another winged elf? I've got one winged elf to model myself on.
You could, except a slight problem of the wings just aren't there.
And the wings aren't there, okay.
Drazel could make himself look like a winged elf because he's got the wings.
Yeah, okay. I can't look like a winged elf.
Can look like an Ethengarian.
Okay. Alright, it's true. Okay, I look like an Ethengarian.
So you look more brownish with greeny or brown either light or dark hair.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because they take on very earthy colours.
Okay, good. I look like an Ethengarian. I should be able to pass unnoticed.
Okay, so as you're crossing a large bridge that's about a mile long, guardsmen are at the other end of the bridge, looking after things. As you reach the city of Calvin, they do have lots of signs up saying in multiple languages, "Thou shalt not cast magic here."
Okay. I feel like playing a pedantry. I've already cast, so it's can't get me for something I did before I got here.
And you see all the iconography of the Church of Karamikos here.
Yeah,
This is the one place in the country where no other churches exist.
Yeah, okay. Evil bastards, a lot of them.
Well, the Baron of Calvin is also a patriarch of the church, one of the leaders.
Yeah, okay. Absolute bastard, I know.
Whereas Threshold up around the corner, also run by a patriot of the church, welcomes all other religions.
Okay.
So some are okay to get along with, some are absolute tools.
Yeah, okay.
Calvin's.
This guy's an absolute tool.
They do have a big sign up there with Drazel's face on it.
No.
Look, you cannot cast magic points at Drazel.
And it does say, "Please do not play with time."
Please.
But it does have the word "please."
I turn to Drazel and I go, "No magic."
Drazel shrugs and says, "Drazel will not care."
It's a suggestion, not a demand.
I don't know, I was just trying to be funny.
I agree.
What happened really last time you were here, Draz?
Drazel fixed time.
Okay.
Fix.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This place needs a lot of fixing.
Drazel will not have time enough.
Yeah, okay. I get you.
Alright, well, I'm getting the impression this is not a place we want to stay for any
We're just passing through.
You do find yourself at a very nice inn called the Knight's River Inn. They welcome you all to stay, and you find you're not charged for food or accommodation.
Okay, good.
What the others haven't told you yet is your sponsor owns all those inns.
That's useful.
Oh, okay. So they knew about us coming.
Is that Redrian?
Yes.
Yes.
He has a franchise called the Knight's River Inn.
Okay.
That's right. You said he was like a merchant prince.
Stay at the Hilton. Got it. Understood. Yep.
Oh, it's not fancy. It's not simple. It is a comfortable place where you feel at home. There's a room with your name on it.
Okay,
Aw.
good.
Play.
And you find that whatever you leave here seems to be whichever inn you go to.
All right, okay. I'm quite liking this trip. I've never had this sort of treatment before.
It's nice.
And there's about 50 rooms in the inn,
They
each
all
with
have-
different names on it.
All have different names on them. Okay.
You can't simply walk into someone else's room unless they're there.
There's not a name like Flame Flicker anywhere, is there?
There is not.
Okay.
I'm gonna presume that he doesn't stay in inns under that name.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. Probably Nom de Plume.
Plus, it might be like Zorro.
Yeah.
Pass it on to the descendants.
Yep.
I do have memories of Zorro the Gay Blade from one of the mock-ups they did. He showed up in multiple colours. Always a good memory. So, yes, it's a rather quiet place here. No one seems to come and try to arrest you.
Good.
You're sure a few people were looking at you as you're coming through, but you always feel that when there's police involved.
Yes, I know. I'm just keeping a very low profile.
And this is where the army sets out for, that takes all the criminals to serve.
Yeah, okay, yes. So I've probably been here before.
Yep. Probably remember a couple of the cells quite well.
Yeah,
Not just one, a couple. They pray to you every night and every morning.
Yeah.
I say pray to you, they don't pray with you, they pray to you.
Yes. Yeah, I prefer the lycanthropes to this lot.
And as you head out of here the following day, the guards just don't even bother trying to check you.
Good.
You do hear a few comments about the sun rose today, that's good.
I feel like stirring things up, but I really don't want to take the risk.
No, let's just out the door, please.
You
This place is not.
You did hear that at some point this city was caught in a time loop and the sun didn't rise for 2 years.
Yeah, well, if we make a few mistakes, these things happen.
So as a setting where time is a major element, you'll find a lot of time-based stuff. Okay, so then you do have 3 days out to the estate of Penhaligon.
What do we know about that?
It's not a place you've been to before.
Okay.
You've been around Karamikos, but you've never really gone there.
I've never been anywhere here, so this is all new to me. That last city kind of sucked. The inn was nice though.
And what you know about seeing this place as you come in is that it looks like a military castle with a wall around the town on the edge of the river.
Okay.
It's designed to fight.
Okay.
And there are parts of the wall that are caved in, bits of the castle missing, and there are rocks the sizes of horses in some of those places.
Okay.
They can fight with giants.
The giants are directly across where the river forks straight into the mountain.
Yep. Okay. I was gonna say, they're picking a fight with someone who's a lot bigger than them.
As you stay there for the night, you do hear the tales of how the dragons disappeared and let the giants out or congregate for the first time in human history.
Okay. Again, no one's willing to go exploring in this. I think it will stay in safe.
I mean, I'm definitely up for exploring, but I think...
There's an axe-murdering bird, though, remember?
Yeah, but...
He only really does that when we're mostly in forests.
Oh, okay.
And he rarely does it around.
Horse.
Yeah,
So it's safe in cities.
he won't misbehave around horse.
Okay.
He's afraid of horse. The
Okay.
only thing he's shown any fear at whatsoever.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So yes, you do hear tales of hill giants that have built a city in that little valley there.
Okay.
And those hill giants will use anything moving as target practice. They don't know what they want or how they got there. Giants gathered from all over the world to that location through unknown magic.
Okay.
And That's where if you talk to any of the sages of the town, they'll talk about that there were unknown runes up in those mountains.
Okay. It's safe to go around, isn't it? So could we climb stairs up to a tower or up to a high wall to look around?
You can look around the town from here, but
Yeah.
you don't get to see much. It's a very militaristic location that's designed to keep people safe.
Okay.
That believes that they're going to be attacked at any moment.
All right.
And you see patrols heading east all the time. There's about 3 patrols that go out in a day.
Okay.
They go out for a couple of hours and come back.
Mm.
I think they have about a 10-hour ride.
Okay. Well, I think given that everyone's on shutdown, I think it's definitely just a place to camp and move on.
They have lots of clean, cheap food.
I
Okay.
was gonna say, unless they've got a good book to read,
Well, this is a first road trip for me. So
And yeah, they're just people all talking about having fought in the war with the giants. But from the giants' perspective, they believe it's the equivalent of a skirmish on their doorfront.
okay.
So they haven't come in force, but they are dealing enough damage that they're a problem.
Okay. Listen to their stories.
yeah, definitely.
And they're most of them are hoping that the giants never understand how strong they are and come in force.
I hear hill giants are pretty stupid, aren't they?
They're not acting stupid.
Okay.
They're acting with more intelligence than they would have expected.
Maybe somebody's telling them what to do.
They've never seen anything but hill giants.
Okay.
Though the elders of the hill giants may grow smarter over time.
Okay. Yeah,
Martin.
Yep.
The dragons. Do we know where the dragons went?
All you know is the dragons went far north.
Oh, further north. Okay.
Yep, they left the entire region,
Mm.
which is part of the reason why Alphatia has a chance of invading.
Because we know some of that through like Calcrits and Redring, don't we?
So, in correspondence with Calcrits and Redrin, your sponsor, you've discovered that the dragons are currently fighting amongst themselves over bringing back the dead god of chaos, Takesis. Slain by the Black Morians many millennia ago.
Okay. And is it a good thing to bring back Taxesis or not?
If she comes back, she is the embodiment of chaos. The dragons have been a law governing the world since she's been gone.
Okay.
And just bringing the discussion of bringing her back has made them abandon all their duties of protecting the world.
Mm.
Such as allowing the giants to congregate for the first time in history. They've kept the giants in check up until now. And they've just also discovered through one of the groups that if Takesis comes back, there's a good chance that the Platinum Dragon will also return, who was also killed by the Black Morians. And if he comes back, that signals a war between the dragons. Or it might just be a war of the dragons against everyone else. Prophecies are a little vague on that one.
Yeah.
But either way, the outcome doesn't sound particularly great.
What is war of everyone against everyone going on?
It is. That's the big problem of this time. It's the time of war. They've never had this amount of conflicts at one time because no one's watching the gates. And yeah, so that's what they talk about with the dragons being gone. There was a great red dragon who presided over this region and basically ruled it enough that there was never a large gathering of any forces.
Okay.
So while it terrorized the people, it terrorized everything else more.
Mm-hmm.
And there used to be, in the last 10 years, there were reports of Dragonborn in the region. There's not been a Dragonborn seen in about 2 or 3 years.
No, it's Drazzle. That's over there.
But he's different.
Okay. He's a different dragon.
It's a
He's
single.
the only Dragonborn I've ever met.
It's a single Dragonborn compared to groups of them.
Okay. It's the only Dragonborn I've ever met, so I don't have much of a standard to compare it.
Well, from what you gather, they're a bit aloof, do weird things, and everyone's afraid of them.
Yeah. And also don't give a shit about stupid rules. Which I'm on the side. I'm on that side, you know.
Right, you believe he cares about rules, just not those imposed upon him.
Okay. He doesn't. Stupid rules. I said stupid rules. I didn't say all rules.
Okay, so you do have a restful night and wake up feeling refreshed, if weirded out by the sounds of drums and people rushing off.
Oh, okay.
Seems that most mornings people rapidly prepare and try to deal with what may be coming. Giants aren't known to have night vision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, and then you start following the wagon trail north.
Yep. Keep going.
And it'll take you...
I think I have to get on the card on the left side to get it right. So far everything's gone fine. So if I keep getting on the card on the left from the left-hand side, I think I'll be okay.
As I say, I think at this point there's a good chance Mia's probably just gonna see if she can just land and just sit on top of the cart. As long as it's not interfering with anyone. Happy to sit.
Not as easy to perch because it doesn't have a big cover.
Yeah, that's
But it's
tries to
comfortable.
perch on top of the door. Wait a minute, don't do that.
Okay, so it takes you 3 days to reach the edge of your known world.
Okay.
Because that reaches the Duke's Road Keep on the edge of the pass heading into Darragan. Pass infamous for its ambushes and pretty much that, yeah. Because
Anyone's got ambushed Drazzle's got rocks in their heads. I'm not worried.
well, you also have someone that if they look at, they see the word paladin seared into their brain.
That's true. But that's a sort of target, isn't it? So that's it.
Yes and no. Paladin does carry a lot of weight behind it.
Okay. All right.
And do you really want to mess with someone's holy warrior during the war?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
So, Chauvel gets you more leeway than Drazzle does in a lot of cases.
All right.
To be fair, I should point out if there's any change in weather, we're pretty much just perpetually in the eye of the storm. As Samir just has the ability to control the weather in a pocket around her, so it's gonna look a bit weird for anyone looking on. It's like, why is it raining but not there?
It's okay. I do have a character in one of the games who, no matter how he stands, he's never getting rained upon no matter what's happening.
Yeah, Samir's got the same thing. So the wind is always at her back and always...
He just didn't choose that one. It's like, he walked in from the cold, dressed in shorts and t-shirt, and everyone else is in furs and rugged up, going, do you understand that?
Yep.
So yes.
Yeah, that character's wife made sure he was looked after.
NPCs can have power. So yes. Come morning, you start the trek out after resting by the side of the keep. Keep isn't big enough to host people, but it provides protection for campers. It's a long day's trek across there. Instead of being an 8-hour trip, it's about a 12-hour trip. But no one stays to rest in that pass.
Fair enough. No one wants to get mugged and attacked by bandits.
The rumor is anyone who stays the night stays forever.
That's not staying.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I don't
we'll put it
fancy
at
killing
12-hour
anyone
trip then.
unnecessarily. Let's not just hang around. Don't get me wrong, they'll get shot with lightning, but...
Yes. But you can be overwhelmed, especially considering the word avalanche is used in some of the descriptions.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So while you can fly, you would then be flying up into the range of their weapons.
Yeah, let's not do that. We're good.
So they talk about all the horror stories of stuff. The Duke, the tower itself, holds one end of the pass open and makes it safe for the first few hours. They'll leave it right out with you, but they always turn back, which everyone hates.
Okay.
But you do see amongst a lot of the warriors are halflings. They do have a reputation for being some of the fiercest warriors on water. That and that they tend to eat people they kill. It's only cannibalism if they're halflings, they say.
Well, okay, all right.
It's not a perspective I agree with, but that's that.
They also have the waste not, want not attitude. Okay, so yes, you find yourself reaching Riedel not too long afterwards in the nation of Darkin. Which is basically that little place there.
Okay.
There is a big celebration happening for a cart actually making it over the mountains.
Well, you know, there's some impressive people on this cart, so...
Though you are sure that you saw hundreds of eyes after sunset staring down at you.
Really?
Yeah.
Hundreds of
The
eyes.
eyes of what?
Hard to tell, but whatever they were glowed with their own light.
Okay.
You know, giving us cloud cover the entire time. It was a very, very cloudy, foggy day in the past. No, thank you. Eyes off.
Okay, so Riedel was just a quick stop on your way. All it is a Darkin's outpost.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really patrol this area that much because the troops come from the city to the north.
Okay.
And compared to everywhere else in their nation, the orcs from the past are lesser evil than other places.
Okay.
So one day later, you find yourself at the city of Selenica. And our friend Anton sees a sight he's never seen before.
Well, I've never been this far north,
As
so...
in, you've never seen a city this big. This makes Calvin look small.
Okay.
It is sprawling, it's majestic. It shows construction of many races, including Traldaran designs.
Okay.
Calvin has no Traldaran buildings. Not a single one
No,
of them.
it's run by a bastard, so...
No, he knocked every other building down and built his own.
Yeah, as I said, it's run by a bastard.
Whereas art on display from any culture you can imagine is here. They even have areas for flying animals and creatures and people.
Yay!
Including,
It's a nice place.
including a space for gnomish airships. Though that is a misnomer because air is sort of where they reside. They don't naturally end up there.
Okay.
I'm just happy to have a place to explore. This looks fantastic. I'm also guessing I'm not allowed to actually cast spells here.
This one here has no restrictions on spell casting, only those that cause damage or harm.
Yeah, don't.
Anything that harms another is the same as assaulting someone with a weapon.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that
That's
seems perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
Don't blast people. It's fine.
Which
Yeah.
also includes messing with people's minds.
Yes, I would imagine.
They speak many languages here. You can be greeted in whichever language you want.
Okay.
The guardsmen seem to have a lot more culture behind them. Compared to those you met in Karamikos, these guys look like they could actually have an argument with you and win.
Okay. All right. Quite happy to stay here. Is this where destination? Because I'm beyond my geographical knowledge.
And one thing you do notice here is that all the dwarven shops are closed
Oh, wonder why.
and emptied.
Ask someone. Well, what's happened to all the dwarf shops?
The dwarves have been recalled home.
We're called home.
Yes.
Every dwarf has been issued a come home or become an exile.
Okay.
And considering for dwarves they could be exiled for hundreds of years.
The dwarf god is one of the ones going to war, isn't he?
The dwarven king has declared war on the giants.
That's right.
Martin,
Yep.
this is as a puzzle game. I am going to pray and greet people or be greeted by people in as many languages as either I know or don't know.
Okay, so that they know nearly all the languages you're spouting.
I can cast tongues if it helps.
Don't worry, I have tongues as well, but I also know like 12 languages.
Oh,
Not
okay.
really that many, but I know at least like 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I know 9 languages,
Okay.
maybe 10, if I haven't written it down.
Most of the guardsmen each know at least 4 or 5, and you think that they're assigned based on knowing different languages.
Nice.
The city you're in is known for the people are known for their bureaucracy as well as their trade.
Oh god. Bureaucracy.
It's a nation of merchants. They learnt from what the Thyatans taught them and kicked them out.
I wonder if I can pick up some good books here or something to learn.
They do have lots of books. They have lots of coffee shops. They have lots of places that will do just about anything you can imagine. Of all the places in the world, this is the second biggest market.
This sounds like a place to explore.
I agree.
We aren't planning on heading off soon, are we?
But you could spend years exploring this place and find new stuff each day.
Kind of like to do that, but is that plan to actually keep going, or we're going to have a stop over here for a while?
Drazzle looks at Zal.
I don't know what you're looking at me for. We could do a shopping montage, I don't mind. I had some money to burn. And I need to get my bird of, would this be a place where I could get like a magical...
Yes, this is a place you can get that sort of thing.
Well, if Samir and Anton would like to go shopping.
I don't have much money, but I'll go window shopping.
So, you end up staying at a really nice looking inn called the Knight's Rivered.
Really?
Oh.
And you find that the room you got it's got your name on it, and whatever you had forgotten to take with you is still there.
Okay.
Interesting.
Cool.
That's convenient.
Well, he is a merchant prince after all.
Yes.
You don't get to be called a merchant prince without having capacity.
Yeah.
What the others haven't told you yet is he has a teleportation network built into the basement that connects all his inns.
Nice.
So instead of spending about the 10 or so days travel you've done so far, you could have
Literally just jump up to the next to wherever we need to
This
go.
is a lot more interesting.
It is. You find out about the events of the world. Some want the fast travel, some want to explore. So yes, Drazzle hands Samir and Anton each a gnomish token.
Ooh. What's this, Drazzle?
Payment.
Okay.
Why are you paying me?
No question.
So you do work. You get paid to get work.
Right, okay. I hadn't noticed I'd done very much, but all right.
You protect Cart.
Kind of think you could do that all by yourself.
Yeah. Drazzle not want to do it by self. Boring by self. You listen to stories, you tell stories.
Okay, I'm happy to tell you to regale you with stories. A gnomish coin.
Cool.
What do I know about gnomish coins? Anything?
Not much, just that the gnomes have capacity beyond most other races, and you don't know what they do with it. But there is a gnomish bank in most major cities.
Okay. Detect magic. Is it magical?
Yes.
All right. Well, maybe we'll stop off at the gnomish bank along the way. Open an account.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Drizzle tells you rough directions of where to go.
All right.
It's not really easy to understand, but the others translate pretty well for you.
Okay. Well, we were going to go exploring anyway. What was your plan, Drizzle? What are you going to do?
Right.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I'm keen to explore and just learn.
Okay. So heading in, does Zal and Chevelle go to the gnomish bank?
I probably should, because I can either get more money out or put some in. I don't quite remember how much I have on my person. That's probably not much.
Okay, so it takes you about 2 hours to reach the bank from the inn. The inn's actually on the outskirts of the city.
Okay.
Something about
Take in the sights and scenes and everything.
you see the most multicultural city you've ever been in,
Okay.
not realizing that you won't find many multicultural cities better than this.
Okay. Well, I probably haven't seen a multicultural city full stop. So.
The Speculum and Calvin have humans, dwarves,
Okay.
elves,
All right. This is
multiple
just-
races of humans.
This is just on another level. Okay.
This one adds to the level of animalistic people, planet-style people, and people that look like they come from far and wide.
Okay.
So cultures you don't even recognize or have heard of before.
Okay. So I feel fine. I don't need to blend in or anything. I can just be myself.
And that there are lots of little Traldaran-styled locations here with shops, clothing,
Okay.
people. They seem to be the heart of the city.
Good.
Though
This is what we should be like at home, rather than like that. Yeah. That bastard runs Caldaran.
Yes. And there's also a huge number of Arabian-style people here as well.
Okay.
As this is a blending of the Arabian and the Traldaran before it became multicultural.
Good.
So that's the underlying aspect of the place. So reaching the Gnomish Bank, it looks to be the weirdest looking building you've ever seen.
How so?
It doesn't seem to be built logically in any way, shape or form.
So it's not sort of, like nice even lines and squares and all that.
But there are even lines and squares, but they don't make sense.
Okay.
It looks like a square building, but there's more than 4 sides.
All right.
None of the sides are the same height, but they all seem to have straight lines between them.
All right. Well, I tried anything once. I haven't enter.
And it does seem to change as you turn your head.
So the dimensions are all up the creek. Okay. Is there okay? Drazzle's into time manipulation. Is there space manipulation as
Yep.
well?
There is space manipulation, there is perception manipulation.
Okay.
So the 5 things are time, which
Yeah.
represents civilization as well.
Yeah.
There is thought, which represents artistic expression,
Yeah.
which something that changes based on perspective really does fit into. There is matter, which represents growth and life.
Yeah.
There is energy, which is the main representation of magic and transformation. And then there is entropy, which is the ability to take from something else.
Can you blend these things?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this could be a blend of things.
Most of the things that blend it come from the nation of Alphatia.
Okay.
Most of the known world region where you come from like to stick to one element.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a big cultural
What about the
difference between
gnomes?
the two.
Are they sort of
The gnomes are more creatures of thought,
okay? So I thought this thing up. Okay.
and as a defense, something that you can't concretely visualize or plan against is a great defense, especially if you get up against thieves trying to steal stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm not interested in theft.
But most thieves are.
Yeah, I know.
But the only place that doesn't shift is the doorway.
It's the one fixed point.
Yeah.
So I really know nothing about this. So I've got okay. Nothing risk I can gain. Okay. Is there a counter where you can?
Well, walking up to the doorway, they seem to have a slot next to the door about the same size as your token.
Right, I'll do anything. What does it mean? What happens?
Okay, the doors slide up,
Okay.
and you see a hallway with a guy at a desk.
All right. Walk in.
And he says, "Greetings, Anton. Would you like to make a withdrawal?"
How did you know my name?
You just put in your token, sir.
And the token identifies me, does it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's uniquely tied to you.
All right.
If anyone else tries to put that token in, we shall kill them.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Good to know.
okay. Well, they better be careful. I'm just trying to check on my account balance. That's all.
Yes, your account balance here says that we have 10,000 gold on hand.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay.
How much would you like to withdraw today, sir?
I don't know what to do with it. I think we'll just leave it there for the moment.
You can always come back and collect it from any branch.
Any branch. And where are the other branches?
We have one in most cities around the world.
Okay.
We don't deal in towns or villages because, well, it's too much effort for so little gain.
I know. I well understand. Thank you very much, good sir. I really appreciate the attention. No idea how to deal in situations like this, so I'll wander out taking my token as I go. I presume I get it when I go out.
Well, basically, you didn't even have to let go of it. It opened once you put it against it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you press it like that. You don't sort of... Okay. All right, gnomish token. Now I've got money that I don't know what to do with. All right. I've never been in that situation before.
Some of the other characters were surprised the first time they got a lot of money. Then they realised how expensive things are in D&D.
Yeah.
And 10 or 20,000 is not a lot of money.
Yeah, I know. But we've got free room and board.
Yeah.
So, I just need spending money.
That's basically what it is. It's money for expenses.
Yep.
And Samir has the same amount.
Okay. Good to know. After you. Alright. Right. Not knowing how expensive anything is, I guess it's going to be a matter of figuring that out first and then
I've never had so much
making a
money.
withdrawal from there. So I think Samir will go for a bit of a wander and see what she can find and see what catches her interest.
One of the major shopping places you've been told about is the ice store.
The ice store.
They seem to have just about anything.
Okay.
The toilet just down there?
It is.
Back in a moment.
So it's just through the laundry. Have you used Google Home before?
No, no idea.
I'll just put the light on. I just won't call it out on camera. Let's see. Lighting. Bathroom. It's good when you can just do that. Okay, so yes, you do get told about the ice store.
Okay.
and warns that you don't want to get in trouble with upper management.
Smith, I think just curious to learn what there is. Like, it's everything here is new and different.
So does Zal or Shafal want to give any heads up for the ice store for the new characters?
Well, no.
Having lived through it, you want other people to live through it?
I was gonna say this will this is actually deserving of just let it play out.
This is a kind of like read and weep moment.
Okay.
Well, it is one of the few times I let my imagination run wild.
Go for it.
Okay, so you see a store with just a symbol of an eye.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach and see what's going on.
Okay, it seems to be a one of those revolving doors. You step in and it goes around you when you get into the other side.
It's also new just for me anyway, so.
So that they're going to the magic store called the Eye Store.
Oh, okay.
Has a symbol of an eye.
Okay. What are we after? What are we going to need? Because I'm not even sure what we're trying to.
I have very little on me, so.
You get to buy many wonderful and relevant things. I haven't even pulled this one out to pull out for magical items before, so that's always fun. And considering how many books I have on magical items, I always pull out something different. Okay, so yes, entering into the Eye Store, you realise you've just dimensional jumped.
What?
They do have a sign saying, thieves will work here forever.
Understood.
I have money. I just don't have it on me.
You have a feeling that these guys will probably accept that as payment.
Okay. All right.
So no one runs a magical store without learning how to get payment from people without having to transfer cash.
Yeah, it's easier than trying to lug hundreds of gold pieces around. So
It's always easier than that.
Magical FPOS. All right.
And you see a splendid unicorn come up to you, glowing with a bright pink light.
Right. Is it like the Aladdin's horse with the silver fork?
Doesn't look anywhere near as holy as that one.
Okay.
This one has that you've been hit by fairy floss in the face sort of glow.
Okay.
And its horn just looks like candy growing out of a horse's head.
Oh, prostate.
You kind of hear Zal mumble under his breath. Well, it's better than the last one, at least.
Okay.
Yes, because every time they come here, there's a different server.
Different server. Okay.
Whether it's the same server or not, it always looks and acts differently.
It's a magical candy horse.
And as it blows a bubble, you hear in your heads, what are you looking for today? In a calm, sort of emotionless
What do
voice.
we need to save the world?
I don't even know what I'm.
Okay.
What do we need to save the world? Actually, that's good. Maybe you know. Do you know what we need to save the world?
It looks at you and says, hope.
Hope. Okay.
Unfortunately,
what have
you have none. We don't have any in stock either.
Okay, I was going to say, what did you have in stock in the way of hope? That was my next question.
How about power?
We have lots of power here, sir.
I've had bad experiences with power.
He looks at you and says, you always have bad experiences with power. That's what power is.
I know.
If you had a good experience with power, it wouldn't be called power.
I have to think about that one.
So, what sort of power are you looking for? And how badly do you want your power?
That's a good question.
What are we going to face? Does anybody know? Does anyone suspect anything?
Well, I want the Master to not eradicate me, and well, my people are kind of boring, but they shouldn't die because they're boring.
Yeah, well, that's reasonable. Yeah.
But the Master is trying to take out the.
What is the Master again?
He's the big bad.
No, but what is he? Is he an undead or something?
He's a god of.
No one really knows what he is.
He wants to be a god of entropy or something.
He is someone who is on his final stages to become a god.
So we really don't know what would stop him, do we?
Equivalent to what you are, he would be mid-30s in levels.
Yeah, okay, I get that, mate. I'm just trying to think in terms of, aspects and things like that. Is there?
He would most likely have a majority of dark aspects.
Okay.
It's very rarely you get that level of power easily.
Oh, look, I'm quite happy to chance myself. What do you suggest in the line of darkness?
He says, we have lots of things that help with people with darkness.
Okay.
Just that, what do you desire the most?
Freedom?
Freedom. Freedom is always a good thing to desire.
Mm.
Creativity.
Creativity does also help a lot as well. Trying to bring up my basic costing thing, and my site being broken doesn't help. Okay. Luckily I have backups. Okay. So on the bright side of things, if you seek a common item, most common items sell between 30 and roughly sell for about 30 gold.
Okay.
So you can get a lot of things for what you have available to you, it says.
Mm. Yes, I know.
So if you were to seek a less common item, they sell between 400, roughly around 400 gold for an uncommon item. So you can get lots of things for that sort of price as well. Many things that may help or hinder you.
Can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Things that may or may not save the world, rare items, cost around 12,000.
That's more than we have.
We don't know. I don't know what my part will be. Sounds a bit dangerous, but
if you want a exceedingly rare item, you just have to part with 30,000 gold.
yeah, I think that's even outside our price range.
Or if you wish to have items that make or break the world, most of them start at around 100,000. And
Okay. Trying to avoid the break the world at the moment.
depends on what the world's done that needs breaking.
Yeah, okay.
You can break the world and end darkness. You can break the world and end famine, because growth does break as it grows. You can burn the world and not break it. You can flood the world and not break it.
Mm.
You can leave it in darkness and not break it as everything dies.
Mm. I think I don't know enough about the problems we face to actually give sensible ideas.
So he does say, for your winged friend, we do have a set of armor for those who are winged.
Armor for winged people.
I believe that would be greatly appreciated. What's
It is best described as armor made by those who are more about appearance than functionality.
Yeah.
I mean, coloured in a rainbow appearance is important.
Well, Yes, but they're more everything in its place and everything neatly arranged in ordered rows and.
Interesting. It's a little boring.
But they seem to make items that work well on winged people very well.
Okay.
So this item we have looks like it'll only set you back maybe around 10 to 20,000. I'm sure it's within your price range.
Okay.
We have multiple sets, and the cheaper you want, I'm sure we can work out something to make it work for you.
Okay.
Normally, the cheaper, the more people have tried it.
Okay. I'm willing to negotiate and find a deal.
So, what sort of deal are you willing to go for?
One that doesn't cost me my soul.
Well, that's hard to tell because if you die, your soul's generally gone. But we can trade in souls as well. We have done so in the past.
Okay. Are you able to tell me what this is? What does this winged armor do? Is it just...
It is hard. It stops things poking through in places you rather they didn't. And it is shiny.
Can you be a sorcerer and wear your armor?
I can because I'm a bard, and I have what's it called? I have a light armor proficiency.
Well, normally it would be light, except it is, full covering.
Interesting. I wonder if that's going to cause a problem for me in my casting.
I'm sure any problems you'll have is just between you and whichever god you worship.
Yep, whichever god that is. Gotta know a good god of the storm.
I know plenty of gods of the storm. They're not very talkative.
No.
Unless you get them drunk, then they won't shut up.
Me too.
Wild and unruly, aren't they?
Oh, that is similar to a T. Yep. All right. Let's do it. Let's spend my money and buy some winged armor. All right. Why not?
Okay, so how much are you willing to spend?
I guess I'll willing to spend what I've got.
So
Let's call it. All but I don't know, 100 gold. Give me.
Okay.
It's a colour. We're going to get it in the right colour.
Yeah, sure. That's true. Rainbow. I'm really liking this rainbow colour scheme. I'm going to embrace it.
Okay, so he sort of looks off to the left, and you see a bunch of gremlins carrying a set of armor towards you.
Okay.
It is mirrored in many colors.
Hey.
As you look at it, you realize this is a full plate set of armor.
Full plate.
Designed to provide armor for wings as well as body.
Okay.
Can I see my face in it?
You cannot.
Okay. It's not reflective. There's not sort of stainless steel type armor.
It is not reflective. If you touch it, it's not even metal.
Oh. What is it?
It is actually a gemstone.
Oh wow. Now that looks impressive.
Nice. He accepts your money and says, "Good luck."
Thanks.
Good luck.
And remember, no returns.
Good to know.
Give me a perception roll.
Sight?
Yep.
Advantage on sight, I think. Yep, advantage on sight. I'll definitely be taking that 14 over the 2, that's for sure. 19.
19. Okay, so as you're looking at it, you see a slight shadow moving overhead. Looking up, you see there's a beholder watching everything happening.
Okay. The eye. Fair enough. That's...
Val just kind of like smiles to himself just a little bit.
Now you're getting the reference to upper management.
Yep. Xanathar or something like that. Or they...
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Took longer.
That's okay. I leave some of the jokes to go for a while. I've even had some jokes go for a year or two before someone got it.
Yeah.
Most people thought the iStore was an I, not an EYE.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Well, I didn't think it was EYE, but I didn't pick it.
It's all good. Not all creatures are horrible as long as you deal with them.
Mm.
So you can negotiate with just about anything. Though if you call initiative, generally they will then respond in kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to choose what you fight. So yes, you've gotten yourself a version of Celestial Aegis, which is full plate that you will be proficient with while wearing. It grants proficiency as part of its thing.
Well, that's good.
And it is considered +2 full plate.
Wow.
And anytime you commit evil acts while wearing it, you'll know.
That's fine. Although I would love to know what its perspective on evil is.
Very rigid.
Yeah, okay. Good to know. It's celestial after all.
Okay. So you do get a lot of bonuses. If you look it up on the site, you'll get what the base one does. There'll be extras. There's always extras.
Okay.
So every magical item will have a base property, an attuned property, and extra properties depending on race and empowering.
Okay. So I'll need to attune, which is not a concept I'm used to.
So you can even attune potions as you're drinking them if you give up a random attunement,
Okay.
which will give you extra bonuses.
Well, I've done something I shouldn't have. I actually took some equipment based on the stuff about how much equipment, starting equipment, money thing. So,
Well, this one gives you magical items that fit in the setting the way I do it, that
okay.
you can then spend whatever you want to spend on stuff and get things that you might not get otherwise.
Okay. Well, I would have no idea where to start. I can
That's
just
okay.
tell you what I picked, which may or may not fit.
What did you pick?
That's bottom of the one.
Well, you might find very interesting things there if I pull out existing items that have been used by you.
Okay, all right. I'm quite happy for them to perform in ways that I didn't expect.
Well,
It makes the world interesting.
We do have slippers of spider climbing that you need to soak them in blood to appease them.
Okay, how often do you need to do that?
Anytime you want to use them.
Ah, my own?
Could be your own or someone else's. They prefer someone else's.
There's not necessarily blood readily available when you want it. Okay,
That they are known as assassin slippers of spider climb.
okay. Are there versions that aren't the assassin slippers?
There are.
Okay,
But that's the most well-known one because it turned one of the characters evil.
okay. Yeah, all right. Not sure I want that one.
Most of the spider climb slippers generally can get abused very quickly, so they have penalties based
okay.
on use.
Okay, it was one of the suggested items.
There are a lot of things that can break or make the game a lot easier,
I'm happy to drop it.
but you can also end up spending a bunch of money that would be more than what you spent on all that.
Okay.
Okay, so what is something that your character would be really interested in using?
Well, since I don't know what's available,
They do have a fancy broom.
fancy broom. So I'm trying not to draw attention to myself. Riding around a broom does sound like it draws attention.
It does. Okay. What's another thing that they can tempt you with?
Well, I took a staff. So what staffs could be interesting?
Well, we have lots of interesting staffs. Okay. So, they have a pretty staff.
Pretty one. Okay.
Yeah, pretty staff.
Pretty one. Okay. Pretty sort of tends to draw attention. What else is there? I guess.
Well, it doesn't look pretty, but it makes you pretty.
Makes me pretty.
The instructions say poke people with it, and they think you're better.
Okay. That might be useful.
Considering the amount of blood on the staff, they're happy to let it go for less than the usual rates.
It's got blood on it. Why has it got blood on it?
Unicorn shrugs. Why does anything have blood in it?
Oh, blood in it. You said not on it, in it.
Well, it's always got blood on it.
Okay. When it says blood on it, is it stained with old blood? Is that what you're saying? Or is that what is that what it looks like?
Well, would you like to buy it and find out?
Okay. Well, okay, I'm going to just draw a line through what I've got and... Is it okay to cast Detect Magic to get some idea of what it's about?
It says, sure, but upper management would generally reserve the ability to stop people using magic in his establishment.
Yeah, okay, alright, upper management. Yeah, alright, I get the picture. So I've got no way of saying what it does, I just have to take my luck.
Makes you pretty.
Well, okay, I'm not pretty, so being pretty at least means I don't bear a scar that makes me stand out in the crowd. I'm not sure being pretty will help. We're trying to save the world here.
May as well look fabulous while doing so, he says.
Alright, so what's the price tag on this one?
This one, well, considering the slight issues we've had with it over time, we're letting it go for, I would say, 500 gold today.
Only 500?
Yeah, normally it goes for 10 times that. But I'm getting tired of cleaning up the blood.
So does it bleed a lot, does it?
I remain able to answer that one at this stage.
Alright, well 500 is not a lot, so...
Okay, so you see a single gremlin dragging a staff, leaving a trail behind it. Yep, towards you. Drops it at your feet and walks off in disgust.
Okay, well pick it up. Is my hand covered in blood?
Yep.
A bloody staff.
Useful.
Don't know if it actually makes me look pretty.
Just confirming, is this the one you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay.
You might have seen a link to the website, so I don't know what.
Oh no, this is just off the level up one.
Yeah, Level Up has a bunch of stuff. I also have a bunch of stuff on mine. But I will be transferring the setting versions of it in there, so each item will have a unique story
Okay.
and abilities.
Celestial Gemstone Aegis.
I've got a bloody staff.
Yep.
Okay.
From 5th edition's version, it's the Staff of Charming.
That's what I thought it was when you were describing it.
But most of them won't actually say the words.
Yeah, fine. Well, I had glamoured padded armour, padded leather armour.
Okay.
And
And they've got a mighty ring that you might enjoy.
a mighty ring.
Yes, you were looking for power.
I wasn't looking for power necessarily. I was worried about power.
Well, this power will worry you greatly.
And what price on that one?
This one is going for a measly 2,000 coins.
A measly 2,000. Well, okay. I still have 9,500 left. Is this one oozing blood too?
It does not ooze blood.
Okay. All right. Anything else that might ooze, like black acid or something, or?
I'm sure we can enchant it too if you wish us to.
No, I prefer not. Walking around with a staff that drips blood's not going to do me any good.
So does this ring of unusual power interest you?
I think it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, I'm easily swayed. I've never had money like this, so I don't know how to spend it.
The correct answer is all in one go. Get rid of it.
Okay, so he takes the money from you again, and you see another gremlin come across and hand you a ring with, looks like it's got the head of a ram on top.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like it's made from copper.
Not sure these are going to be much use to me, but anyway.
Okay, so next thing we have up for sales for some people is we have a wand of pointing.
A wand of pointing.
Yes, it points at things.
I got a staff. I don't need a wand.
Does our winged person need a wand?
I
Spend all your money.
I was to say I've got 100 gold left, right? So
He'll sell it to you for 100 gold.
what's the point? I don't understand.
That's just what a thing does, it points.
It points at secret things.
Who needs money? I didn't have any anyway.
Okay, so he pulls off his horn and hands it to you.
Jeez, okay. Thanks.
So you just pop.
Cotton candy wand.
You're not exactly sure what it does.
Oh.
But from your character's perspective, it is a wand of web that does cotton candy instead of web.
That's wonderful.
A wand of cotton candy.
Okay.
Would you have a suit of armour suitable for me? Nothing flash like that.
Oh, so you want nothing flash. I have lots of armory bits around here.
Armory bits.
I have gloves of squeezy.
No, just sort of because we're going to be doing something that's probably going to threaten to get me killed. And I'm just trying to think of something that might mean I survive a little bit longer.
Talking shield?
I can't use a shield.
Well, I can talk to you.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if that's going to help me. Proshka talks to me too, but Proshka doesn't help either.
Most people who talk don't help.
That's true. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll have to be satisfied with ordinary armour.
Oh, you want ordinary armour? We have that too. That's so ordinary, more people have worn it than haven't.
Okay. I'm kind of thinking of something that's a bit better than the average, but...
Well, I got this thing that makes you stand out like nothing. You put it on and no one recognises you.
No one recognises me. Okay. That's good. I can do that myself already, though.
No one expects it will be you.
What sort of armour?
It's a hat.
Oh, I've got disguise self already.
Doesn't disguise you.
Okay. A hat.
Yes.
All right. A fool and his money is fool his money.
He will sell it to you for a whole 50 gold.
Yeah, okay, I've got a hat. I'm down to 74.50, and I've got a hat.
So you see a hat get carried in by a bunch of pixies and dropped in your hands. As it lands in your hands, it turns into a solid helm.
Okay.
Looking at the helm, it's the helm of the guy who has terrorized your people for millennia.
Okay.
It's the hated enemy of the Traldarans, the dreaded knight.
Yeah, right. Well,
Helm of the Dread Knight.
Helm of the Red Knight. I'm not sure that I want to wear that.
Whoever shall wear that hat, he says, shall not be recognised.
Yeah, well, okay, I get that. I get that. I'm not going to be recognised. I think my way works better.
But hey, they do have thematic items. He does have full off armour.
Full off armour.
Yes.
Full off. I'm sure I want to fall off. What?
Guaranteed to come off when you need it to, and sometimes when you don't.
Oh, okay. This is meant by fall off. I thought you meant like fall as in fall flat down.
We could do that too. That would be an interesting enchantment, he says.
It would be an interesting enchantment. I'm not sure if a very helpful one though.
Depends on who you put it on.
Yeah. Fall off. So you can take it off really quickly. Can't see a lot of value in
I do. I see a whole 100 gold.
that. I think I'll just go by the ordinary stuff.
Or you can get matching armour to your home. We have some of that too.
Yeah.
That's 75.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I really don't want to dress as the evil person who is,
Don't dress as them.
terrorizing our people. I really don't want to,
Well, if you can't be yourself, be someone terrifying.
Yeah, well, they won't pick it as me. It's a way of getting by, but I think my way works better.
Well, that's up to you, but you can guarantee that there will be very few people who will pick on you with that armour.
Yeah. I like blending into the crowd.
That's completely up to you, he says.
I'm sure there's options for blending into the crowd too.
Mm.
Or you could be a walking rainbow like me.
He can give you a potion of blending.
I can't remember what that does. I've got disguised self.
Well, blending means that you'll be able to fit in amongst any crowd you wish to.
Okay. I'm kind of thinking that I've bought 3 things that none of them are really going to be much use to me. I think I'm beginning to feel that I'm being taken for a ride here, I think.
We got magical items that will do that.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. At the moment I ride on a cart.
You pause the room. Yep, I know that cart.
It's a very good cart. You just don't want to go in the back door, that's all.
He's not recommended. So if you're looking for something a little more useful, I do have a charm of no.
Charm of no?
Yes.
No?
No is a useful thing to say.
Yeah.
Would you like a charm of no?
What's the price tag on that one?
That one is 200 for a no.
Alright, well you can't go wrong for 200 gold pieces. A charm of no.
Okay, so you've just gained yourself a charm of remove curse.
That's pretty good.
Given I am cursed, there's some sort of appropriateness there.
That's what you would enjoy that. I won't inflict the potion of love on you, which I did on previous characters who accidentally used them on each other. Chevelle being one of those.
Yeah.
Just ask Sal, you'll get a full video view of it.
Please do not ask.
I'm going to have to buy some ordinary armour, I think.
He does offer a rod of smacking.
A rod of smacking. Yeah, rod of smiting is a good item, but I'm on warlock.
No, I said not smite, smack.
I know. Is this the 200 GP version, is it?
This is the lesser version.
Yes.
You smite with the heavier one, you smack with the lighter one.
Yeah, it's true. I've probably got enough already.
Are you sure? You could always use another thing to hit people with.
Yeah. I really don't want to get so close that I have to hit them.
Well, then hit them from afar.
Yeah, well, a rod of smacking is probably not for hitting from afar. It's probably for hitting them up close.
It is magic.
And what's the price tag on the rod of smacking?
The rod of smacking is going for a whole 200 gold. Discount due to having smacked the wrong person.
Okay, so this is the cursed version of the rod of smacking, is it?
Well, the ice store does value its items.
Yeah, okay. The moment I've got a staff that drips blood, a helm I'm never going to wear.
I've got the horn of a unicorn.
Oh yeah, but at least yours produces fairy floss.
And rainbow armor.
Yeah. But rainbow armor suits you.
Thank you. I think it's lovely.
Whereas I don't really want to wear a helmet of the Dread Knight.
Well, your helm does suit your patron.
Oh. That's a problem.
And Em, you were saying something?
Oh, yeah, no, I just wanted to say I might,
Yeah, I think
up to bed.
both of us might have to bed.
Yeah, it is 10 o'clock.
Okay, so
Yeah, and I need to be up early.
so we can finish it off then and give Arena a chance to have a quick word to you after the credits.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll end it there. You'll get a few more rounds before we go. Well, I will put it in credits now.
Okay.